Welcome back to Clash Royale League Asia, week number 9. This is the final day. My name is G-Clap, and with me is going to be the Simon. The one and only, the Simon.
The Simon.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's been a long time. 2 whole weeks since we last casted together, and we are back today for the Japanese region. And honestly, this is going to be some incredible Clash Royale.
Hey, we had the Japanese finals last time. It may happen again. That's how strong they are. They seem really strong right now.
It could be a all Japanese final again once we get to the finals. But SCA are also looking incredibly good. So there is definitely a chance we will have something else there.
Yep, I think they're really strong as well. Looking at yesterday and the weeks before and the weeks of play before, I'm putting Korea down a little bit compared to the other regions, but Southeast Asia, I think they really got it this season, and possibly they can contest against Japanese teams. But we're going to have all Japan games today, and you guys will get to kind of get an idea how good they are actually as a team for 2v2 and 1v1s, because they have 2v2 special and 1v1 specialist in everywhere around their rosters.
Yeah, the Japanese teams have incredibly deep rosters. They have great 2v2 pairings, but they have like 3 or 4 different combinations they can do, which doesn't affect their 1v1 players.
Not at all.
Because their 1v1 player, they can slot any of the other 3 players in there, and they're just really good. They have so much depth compared to like the Korean region. Puts them on a whole other level.
Yep, and it makes the opponent team really hard to prepare against what they're going to do, who they're going to choose as their 1v1. And here's an updated standings with Korea yesterday and Southeast Asia the day before. We're back onto the regional divisions here, as we have the final 2 weeks of region-only teams going against each other. We had some Korean games yesterday and the day before. Southeast Asia tonight is Japanese. And we're going to have that games. 1 PONOS Sports, 2 GameWith, and I believe 2 FAV Gaming. Wait, where does that leave us?
2 FAV Gaming, 2
and 1
GameWith,
DetonatioN.
PONOS, 1 DetonatioN. Yeah,
Yes.
every team will play today, but GameWith and FAV will play twice. Very important games today for GameWith and FAV Gaming, as PONOS are kind of separated themselves from the rest of the pack. They have a huge cushion. They can lose a few games and they'll be fine. But GameWith and FAV Gaming are in this back and forth fight to see who will qualify.
Yeah, we might actually know the result by tonight, because they're both playing 2 matches today. FAV Gaming versus DetonatioN, that's match 1. Match 2, GameWith versus PONOS. GameWith needs to win that if they want to have chance of going to the playoff as the first place for Japan. Final game, GameWith versus FAV Gaming. That can actually determine who's going to be the second of the standings.
Yeah, GameWith versus PONOS Sports is incredibly interesting because GameWith beat them last time. That doesn't happen very often. PONOS Sports have lost to 2 teams. 1 is GameWith, and 1 is Kingzone Dragon X.
Yeah, that is actually crazy. And because they beat them last time, if GameWith beats PONOS once again and everything else today and the next week, they will actually be first place moving on to the playoff, because head-to-head, even though they have same, maybe 10-3, I think, if that comes down. 10-4.
10-4.
Yeah, that
14 games
also
this season.
requires PONOS to drop 2 matches. So there's some chances that they have to work through. You're just shaking your head saying that's not going to happen ever again.
I mean, PONOS have dropped 2 games all season. In the last 9 weeks, they've dropped 2 games. Do you think they're going to drop 2 games in 1 week?
Hey,
I don't think
they're
it's
up
going to
against
happen.
their own region, and the entire region seems very strong.
But they only lost 1 game last time. They beat everyone in the region last time. They're going to beat everyone in the region again. They are just that good.
Okay, Simon, liking the team.
You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to give the casters curse to keep like everything super competitive here. But our first game tonight, we got to talk about FAV Gaming and DetonatioN Gaming. DetonatioN Gaming can still qualify, I believe, but they need a miracle. Actually, no, I don't think they can qualify. They'll be
FAV
7-7.
Gaming?
DetonatioN Gaming.
DetonatioN, they can go for the wild card. That's possible. But if they drop 1 match, they cannot even qualify for the wild card. That's what we have for the stats here. And PONOS, very, very likely. GameWith, it's possible they will take first. The rest of the pack, it's possible they move on to the wild card. But it seems very likely that either the winner of game tonight, the third match, GameWith, FAV Gaming, will probably could get that spot.
Yeah, that is the game that will decide pretty much everything here. If FAV Gaming beat GameWith, they'll be equal with GameWith, and I think they would have the advantage in terms of head-to-head.
I think so. We're saying this because there's one more day of Japan next Sunday, but because they're playing 2 tonight, they only have 1 match later on. So if they lose 2 tonight, then they're gonna drop out of chances. So that's what we're saying here, as we want to have this story going on for both of the teams, of course, including PONOS, as Japanese seems to be one of the strongest regions right here.
Well, I mean, we have PONOS Sports trying to find the set. They have 11 set wins and 22 game wins.
It's a lot of wins.
They're so positive right now that they are they're head and shoulders above everyone else. We see the SEA region. We talk about how strong they have become, but it looks like PONOS just became even stronger than they were when they won Season 1 finals.
They can even have me on the roster in their team and still be as good because
never
I'll be
play
on the
you.
bench.
Yeah, no, you would never be in the active roster, G-Clef. All right, so we are going to take a look at the teams. FAV Gaming, Rad, Yakitori, 2v2, Danny in the 1v1, Oz as the 4th player, and today, Kenzumeshi is sitting this one out.
They got a pretty solid roster for 2v2s at 1v1. They can have Danny, they can have Kenzumeshi, but he's up first today. And it seems like if they're going to King of the Hill, Ozzy will be coming up, possibly. As they can just still have Rad, Yakitori, Danny as the 1v1 player. So they got a pretty solid roster, and this is like the reason why all the Japanese teams are really strong compared to the other regions.
Yeah, they have a very deep roster, and we can see DetonatioN Gaming, Lewis, Ku, Pyrameki, and their 4th player today is Tempura. They are one of the smallest teams in the Japanese region. Most other of the Japanese teams have 5-6 players. DetonatioN Gaming, just the 4. And that doesn't give them many options going forward when you have many games coming up.
Yeah, not too much actually. That's actually a good point. But Lewis and Ko is the duo that happens over again. Tempura, Pyrameki switching from each other from time to time. So that's going to help a little bit in the future. Now let's take a look at the entry for the ones playing tonight and the ban cards.
Royal Hogs and Inferno Dragon. You know what that means. Tornado makes it through.
Yes, Tornado plus Poison. So we'll see a lot of, maybe a little less of that lava balloon that we haven't seen a lot from the other regions, Southeast Asia and Korea as well. But those Royal Hogs are banned. So are we back to the giant skeleton Royal Giant?
Very possible. There's also, we could see a lot of Lava Hound Balloon that we've seen. They could even throw in the clone into that deck, and we'll see what happens. So the players are going to get roughly a minute just to make any last-minute changes to these decks. They do get time before they play to change the decks.
I believe an entire hour before, so they should have plenty of chances of making all the decks. And so far, in Royale League Asia, no mistake of playing a ban card. So, which actually happened in the other regions, but that's not happening at all. That Royal Hog, I was about to say Royal Pig because I wrote it down like that. And Inferno, which the standard will be Golem. Golem double print still comes out oftentimes. Or we can switch into the Lava, but having that Tornado seems like it's a good counter against it.
So I'm just taking a look here. Rad and Yakitori have only played 2v2 together. There was one time where it was Yakitori and Oz. So they are 6-4 together. And Lewis and Ku, they are 5-5 together. And the only other one there looks to be, there looks to be one where it was Pyrameki and Tempura. So Lewis and Ku have played a lot of games together, but so have Rad and Yakitori. So this is going to be the battle of these teams' number 1 2v2 partner as we get into game number 1.
Let's take a look, as 2v2s will matter a lot. The first set between DetonatioN Gaming and FAV Gaming. We've seen a lot of the duos, but we're yet to see something new. We have seen some cheese last season, like the Graveyard Freeze. There's that Giant
Royal Giant. Yeah, the Giant Skeleton Royal Giant. The Royal Giant is going to make it onto the tower. He's going to get a couple of hits. The Mega Minion and the Baby Dragon, they're trying their hardest. The Baby Dragon is the only one to survive, yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot of damage taken. The Baby Dragon's going to go down as well to one hit from the tower.
There's that lava that we have talked about before, but a lot of damage already taken.
Oh, and the cannon cart connects on the left-hand side. Is there any ground units here from Detonation Gaming? They are taking critical damage this early on.
So they gotta respond. They gotta do a lot more. The left one, Mega Minion, will be down after a few scratches. The lava has to connect. The miner has to be perfect, but there's already that mini P.E.K.K.A. taking away that miner. So it seems like their counterattack is really weak, but they're making another one. Rad and Yakitori is going in.
It doesn't matter. That Lava Hound can go all day. It barely does any damage until it pops. Do they have anything to clean up the pop? There's the giant snowball. Perfect defense here from Fav Gaming so far.
So it seems like Detonation Gaming, the pair, they don't really have anything like the Bomb Tower or even something in the middle like the Tombstone to actually drag some shots away. They gotta connect their air units, actually doing damage, but that explosion coming after
will clean all of that up. Oh, I thought the tornado just pulled the Baby Dragon away. It was just in range, and the miner comes down the back, and he's going free on that tower right now.
They did so much more, and even to the left side with that cannon cart. If you just leave that, basically a fireball each shot from that cannon cart.
Yeah, so they put down the cannon cart again. Is it going to get answered? Yes, they have to use the defensive miner. And the miner will keep it out of range of the tower this time.
That's a trade. They're getting less, and they got to stop this Royal Giant that's going straight to the tower all the time.
Are they going to be able to do it? The log comes in to try and push him back, but that bomb is going to clean nearly everything up. Got a few hits. 1-8-2 remains. But will they be able to defend this push that's coming in? The mini P.E.K.K.A. takes out the miner.
Mini P.E.K.K.A. was there before the mine. That was actually brilliant because they knew the cycle coming.
Yeah, we see the Ice Wizard going against the two Mega Minions there. Easily cleans that up. And what do Fav Gaming do? Switch to the other side. Yeah. No point trying to go for that 3-crown victory.
There's a Tombstone now. There's a Tombstone now, but very weak against the Royal Giant. If you take a few shots, that will be gone in a second. Actually, no shot to the tower this time, but it's the counterattack's not as powerful.
Yeah, it's interesting that they waited so long. There's the rocket to take us into the tie-break situation, but look at this. In the pocket, Giant Skeleton, Royal Giant. That is not where you want a Royal Giant to be if you are Detonation Gaming, because he's going to get so much damage done. Lighting in there. One more hit. There we go. Fav Gaming take it. 2 crowns to 1 in game number 1.
The pair that we have seen originally, not originally, but a lot from Southeast Asia, have moved on to the Japanese teams and the Korean team. This is still one of the strongest, even with Tornado, with Poison, simply because it cannot be stopped if you do not have anything like the Inferno Tower, something that can take the damage in the middle before it actually gets the shots onto those Princess Towers.
I have to ask though, they had Tombstone. They played it towards the end. Why was it never played earlier?
The first time, I don't think they had it in their hand to start off. But later on, because it basically takes few shots and it gets destroyed very soon. I think they were thinking that it's not really worth it to put down for the elixir because they want to have their own attack with the Mega Minion plus the Baby Dragon, which was not really powerful. So,
and it also went down to the Giant Skeleton bombs. So I mean, I don't know, interesting choice from them there. I would love to pick their brains about why they didn't play it down, but I think you're right. I think it just goes down a little too quickly.
Yeah, and also the deck choice, of course, it was quite a lot heavy counter by not having too many ground units.
Yeah, they had next to no ground units, and I mean, that cannon cart got so much damage done. But we are going to go into game 2 here, as Fav Gaming, Yakitori and Rad in blue take on Lewis and Ku from Detonation Gaming in red at the top.
Let's see if Lewis and Ku tries that lava comp once again.
Well, this time Rad and Yakitori are going for the Lava Hound.
And they got the ground now.
Yeah.
The Golem.
It's like they completely switched up their strategy. Detonation Gaming, Lewis and Ku going for the Golem with the Lumberjack. We'll probably see a Night Witch. There's the Baby Dragon. Baby Dragon's usage rates must be sky high right now because he is everywhere.
Yeah, because we have a lot of small units. We need to clean those up. Those area attacks. Small fireballs. Golem not really making it in, but the Prince was stopped by the guard right in the middle.
Yeah, the Ice Wiz actually got knocked back just a little bit as the guards were placed, protecting that Ice Wiz but ever so slightly a little bit longer. He's getting so much value, though.
A lot of unit, and this Baby Dragon We'll actually connect a few shots at least, so that's a nice trade for Lewis and Ku because they got some hits on the top, their own top versus tower.
Yeah, I mean, the explosion from the Golem, I think, saved the Ice Wizard ever so slightly. It just pushed him out of range as the guards played. And I think if it wasn't for that, the guards would have been a little bit too late.
Yeah, maybe that was maybe because I think we heard the charge right in the middle, right? And then the shield from the guard just took it out. There's a second pair of attacks here. As this Golem seems a little stronger. There's a flying machine.
Flying machine is so good, but that tornado
rocket! Boom!
Oh, so much value out of that rocket there. My goodness. Everything goes down. And that puts Brad and Yakitori very much on the back foot. They're taking a lot of damage here.
Plus that poison on that rage. So the Golemites actually did a lot of damage with double the Baby Dragon, one locking onto the tower, which means the tower is basically gone. And the next Golem should be coming right up on the left side.
Yeah, putting it down on the left side, knowing they can finish with a spell, means that they can start trying to force this game on that left-hand bridge. Will Brad and Yakitori decide to defend that side or go for their own right push?
They just have to defend because they cannot really make an attack onto the right. They're going to lose even more and further. Is that double Golem that I see?
It is the double Golem. Is it going to work? We've seen that Detonation Gaming usually do this towards the end of the game, and most of the times we see it cost them, but today it looks like it might actually work out in this game. As the Prince gets the charge on, there's a lot of units there taking out that tower.
Even before the raid just popped, and the tower was already just destroyed. They're putting Golems after Golems to destroy everything right now. They could even possibly go for that third crown, 1,000 left. 8 seconds to go.
8 seconds, they got 900 damage to get done. Can they do it? It looks as though they might. 572, it's going to be so close. Just the 2 towers, but convincingly 2 towers. Barely took that much damage on their own towers. Lewis and Ku in 2v2 for Detonation Gaming. They either have a not so good game or a great game. They're a bit inconsistent. I think that was the big problem with Detonation Gaming so far this season is inconsistency.
Yeah, that's totally true, especially for their 2v2.
Yeah.
Deck choice, of course, there are counters, but even with that counters, sometimes you can actually defend and drag a lot of the time winning, try to have your own winning conditions. But it was different in this story. And also, about Gaming in this game, they did not have anything against it because Infernal Dragon is banned. You can't really stop that Golem without that tower. So what do you bring in this case? They just brought a lot of units, especially the flying units, but not enough to take down the Golems. And they didn't have their own tombstone in the middle to drag it. So they couldn't really buy any time.
Inferno Tower? Would you use Inferno Tower?
Yes, yes. Actually, yes, when Inferno Dragon's banned out, like in this case. We're expecting very likely lots of Lava Hounds, lots of Golems. I would actually, that's not a bad thing to at least have one of something like that. Or at least a Bomb Tower.
Bomb Tower, not the biggest fan of against Golems.
Oh, yeah,
I think Bomb Tower is much better as like that flexible building.
Yeah,
when
actually,
you know Hogs can come in.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Never mind on the Bomb Tower because Royal Hogs are banned out.
Yep.
And Inferno Tower, I think it's an okay tool if they are thinking about their own Golem or
Pekka?
even against the other one. Not bad, of course.
I think the one thing with Pekka though is if your opponent brings the Lava Hound decks, Pekka is quite useless.
Yeah, that's why we often have a giant skeleton instead, basically taking out everything when the attack push is coming. With that explosion. We'll see what they choose at the end. Rather than you can do it, they already brought their Royal Giant. We can try that once again.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That deck works so well. But we're about to find out what they are bringing in Game 3. Brad and Yakitori once again in the blue. Lewis and Ku once again in red. And whoever takes this takes set number 1 here.
Which can have, of course, bring their win in for the entire team. They take the second set as well in that 1v1. Okay, guards.
This is the Lava Hound from Detonation Gaming. And we do see it's going to be Game 1 all over again. Giant Skeleton, Royal Giant.
But they have Mini Pekka this time, so that's a lot better of a defense.
Yeah, but still gets 1 hit.
And that's it. So it's much better. There's that Inferno Tower that we were talking about. And lots of the Baby Dragon after that, the lava, so it's actually not too bad.
Yeah, the miner there is going to start trying to take out that Ice Wiz, who's just slowing everything down, but it goes down itself to the mini P.E.K.K.A from Fav Gaming. And right now, both these teams almost dead even.
No, only doing math, 52 apart on the tower HP, but that giant snowball, the timing was crazy because right when the pups came out, it got knocked back, so it barely did any damage.
That's what you need to do. We see the giant skeleton. Royal Giant queued up once again. The mini P.E.K.K.A will come in. Oh no, it's not. We see the guards coming, trying to defend. The cannon in the middle is also distracting that Royal Giant. Is it going to get a hit? It gets one.
Yeah, mini P.E.K.K.A actually attacking into guards, so that Royal Giant actually survived for such a long time there.
2 hits from that Royal Giant, and that's what you need. Royal Giant does so much damage per hit now that even 1 hit is almost worth that elixir investment.
It's actually crazy with that major buff to damage.
60%. Yeah, 60% buff on anything. You increase anything by 60% and it's massive. But we see again, the giant skeleton is actually going to reach the tower this time. The Royal Giant's behind, it's not needed. Oh my goodness, the giant skeleton's just going to get to the King Tower as well with the Royal Giant almost at full HP. Are they going to be able to free Crown here?
They're going to get that almost 1,000 damage, plus the shots continuing from that Royal Giant now.
Rocket comes in to take out the Inferno Tower.
That's not a good sign, we know that for sure.
Yeah, the guards are going to take out the guards, the Lava Hound on the left-hand side, and the Lava Hound on the right-hand side. What are they going to be able to do?
Focusing a little more onto the left with the mini P.E.K.K.A now. Is that going to connect to the tower? It will.
It will.
They will actually push more here.
Yeah, that trades beautifully.
They're racing for 3 crowns here right now.
Yeah, it looks like nobody's trying to defend here. What is going on? Nothing done about the Lava Pups either. They are attacking the guards though, so that's good news for Yakitori and Rad.
But no hits from the mini, but they go for the pocket strategy. Cannon just in time, but that's going to be destroyed very soon.
Yeah, and the tornado, they're pulling everything back. But that just pulls all his own units onto the bomb of this giant skeleton. So much getting done here.
Okay, let's see what it comes down to. They have the Inferno Tower right there, just because of suddenly lava just coming out from nowhere. Mini P.E.K.K.A has the defense, so they got the skeleton down, but the Royal Giant locked onto the tower.
Yeah, it's going to get a couple of hits here. Ooh, is it going to be enough to take it down?
Shots.
3 shots. 1, 2, 6, 4, and 1, 8, 7, 9 on the Crown Tower. Oh my goodness, this has just gone everywhere. This looks really dangerous now for DetonatioN Gaming. Will they be able to get the tower?
Yeah, with the poison and the tornado keeping it in range. Great snowball, but the mini P.E.K.K.A is on their way. Zapped. Miner just to stop it from doing damage to the tower. Only Miner getting few hits.
Yeah, 989 and the poison on top there. It just seems like both teams forgot how to defend lately. It's just aggression, aggression, aggression.
But the defense is actually not too bad from both sides. It's actually incredible what we're watching here. They will have that pocket, so having the Mega Minion actually placed right in there. Real push is coming.
Mini P.E.K.K.A played on the back, which causes the giant skeleton to kind of get confused and start turning around, which then means the Royal Giant doesn't get anywhere near the tower.
No,
that is perfect defense.
Not at all. Way too fat to cross the bridge there, but great Inferno Tower placement actually. They're going to move it away with the miner.
Just not enough.
104. And
Poison.
they had poison. That's going to be game.
DetonatioN Gaming, take that in. That was a huge swing about halfway. It looked as though Rad and Yakitori had that in the bag. They had 1 tower, they were sitting pretty, half of the damage done to the King Tower. And then what happened next? Lewis and Ku just like solidified their position and just won it out. Crazy game.
Just having an understanding of 2v2, just take whatever you can take. King's Tower has a lot more HP, you can actually have it. So why not focus onto the other side before the attack is coming? When the attack comes, you cannot have your own one. So they made that decision on the fly, just like that. And they got a tower and actually more damage to the King's Tower. That was some incredible decision making, what we have seen there.
Yeah, causing the giant skeleton to turn around with the Royal Giant skeleton on the bridge. That is how you kind of just shut this down, because they cannot pass each other. They're both too fat, right? And when they're that big, it's like, you know, trying to get in an elevator.
Too many pixels in that bridge.
Yeah, but we are going to get into the 1v1 now. We're going to have Danny from Fav Gaming banning out the 3 Musketeers against Pyrameki from DetonatioN Gaming, who banned out that Magic Archer.
Yeah, Magic Archer has been rising even further. I believe we're about to see this card even banned within the next weeks of playoff and all the way into the finals maybe, because we have that gigantic win rate deck with the Barbarian HUD. Magic Archer is coming out so well. When the player can do it, if you know the angle, if you can work around it, it shoots through. So doing straight damage, kind of like Royal Giant, what we have seen. A lot less damage, of course.
Yeah, so let's take a look. Danny, he had lost his first game to Roller Peron 0-2. Then he beat Dylan, Sado, and Manong GP. The guy is on a bit of a roll here. And then we have Pyrameki, who lost to Mikamboya, beat Manong GP, lost to Expo Master, and then beat Lampo.
Donnie loves to use all the hogs, the small ones, the big ones, and also with the help with some of those Royal Ghosts and some Lava even. So depending on the deck choice, that could be beneficial for him, because Pyrameki actually is not really good at. We have seen the games he was up against the Lava, and he was actually not having a good time.
Yeah, defending against Lava Hound is always tricky. But we're going to see what comes out in game number 1 between Danny in blue for Fav Gaming and Pyrameki in red for DetonatioN Gaming.
For Danny, he has been using those Battle Ram, the bridge spam, a lot within the recent weeks. Let's see if he uses that again against Pyrameki.
Yeah, a lot of control decks from Danny, right? If I remember correctly.
The meta has been really fast, low elixir cost cycles, especially the bridge with the Battle Ram, even the Bandit actually being used a lot not just in Asia, in Europe and NA as well.
It's really interesting to see the switch in the meta from like weeks 1, 2, and 3, where we were getting a lot of bait decks. Princess was used all the time.
And heavy beatdown decks in the middle.
And now it's like we don't see any Princess at all.
Rarely when we have some Japanese teams going against each other, but other than them, actually none from Korea, none from Southeast Asia. There's that Lava actually Pyrameki has brought today.
You see Danny with the bowler here.
So this bowler actually made to very little in this case against the air units. It just goes through.
It could be a splash yard deck. I know we don't see that much at the moment, but it's definitely possible with the Inferno Dragon and the Ice Wizard as well. Will we see the graveyard come out? That is the question. E-Wiz there to reset the Inferno Dragon off of the bowler, who does get one giant rock, and that's out. Very good defense there from Jimmy, actually.
From both, and good fireball from Pyrameki. As he with that he actually takes some shots, but he's higher on elixir, so he saves some for this next play.
Guards down on that right-hand side against guards from Pyrameki. A bit of a trade here. The Princess Tower does mean that red will win that, but not by much. They're still going to go down.
Pyrameki with this cycle, I believe, is about to have the perfect cycle for his own Lava, but how does he stop that Inferno Dragon from locking? That's going to be the major job that he has to work on.
Yeah, we see the Baby Dragon this time, not the Inferno Dragon from behind. The Inferno Dragon comes in from the side. Beautiful tornado pulling everything in. Beautiful fireball. And all the defense from Danny has just been taken out.
Danny already used the poison, so can't really stop the pup from going in. He was to reset on that Inferno Dragon, but that's about it. Pup's actually not doing too much to the tower. It actually locks onto all the units, but now that continues.
Beautiful defense there from Danny. It looks really, really bad. And then he just somehow pulls out this crazy defense, taking nothing onto his tower. And there is that graveyard. How much damage is it going to get done? We don't see a poison from Pyrameki, so he's not going to be able to shut it down completely.
Actually, a lot, because the Princess Tower was locked onto the air unit so far.
813 remain. My goodness, what an effective graveyard that was. We see the Ice Wiz now. He needs to defend. Can Danny defend this? Tornado pulling the E-Wiz, the Ice Wiz in as the Inferno Dragon from Danny.
The Miner and the Pups are actually hitting the tower now.
Tornado to try and pull everything away. There's the E-Wiz, but that Miner! 64 remain, 119. Who's going to get the next spell to win this? Danny throws out the poison.
Does he not have a fireball?
The Miner comes through. He's going to...
Oh! And Danny takes it. With Pyrameki, I think he was low on elixir because fireball needs 4. Miner was thrown right before, but a little bit too late there. That was a close game with just a single hit away.
down to that poison timing. That's when you know it's a good game, when like either player can win with either spell. You can just see them like cycling as quick as they can to try and take it out.
That's when you basically spam your card to the earliest, the possible damage that you can actually put out at the end.
Your APM goes from like a steady 20 to about 300 when you got that last spell. You're like, no, come on, let's do it.
That's
One elixir more for Pyrameki in
Uh-huh.
that situation. He would have got the fireball out and he would have won.
Yeah, which is a tough choice when it comes down to that low of an HP actually to test everything that you have for the entire game. But great defenses for both sides, good spell use. And even though they were willing to trade and actually take some damage, that was actually a well played by both players there. And that last push with the Lava Hound Miner, Tornado really pulling all the air units, actually saved Danny from actually surviving at the end, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful timings on everything he did. He just it seemed that he was defending with nothing and coming out on top. Like that one push that came through where it was like 5 or 6 different cards. There was a Baby Dragon, Mega Minion, something like that in there. And it looked so bad for Danny. And he just manages to get it done. It's nuts.
That was actually a close game. Well, just one hit from the Miner could have done it. I believe it had 62 left.
Yep. One more hit. I think it was, he had 120 something, so. But we are about to get into game number 2 between Fav Gaming's Danny and Pyrameki of DetonatioN Gaming.
When you lose with 62 left, what can you do in the second game? Just keep yourself together, play a fresh game. I think that's what he needs right now.
Do the same, but ever so slightly better.
Yeah, just gain one more elixir trade value, and you can have a fireball.
It looks like Danny is bringing the same deck with the same starting opening with that bowler in behind, and we see the Mega Knight from Pyrameki.
Usually you do want to drop that on top of those goblins, the small squishy ones, but I think that's just for the cycle that he wants to have out of the way for now.
Yeah, will Pyrameki have the poison this time to help defend against the graveyard? That is the key card, I think. Beautiful Tornado. Didn't look happy about that, though. Ice Wiz just cleaning it up. There is the graveyard. Do we see the poison? There it is. Pyrameki now has the perfect defensive answer to that graveyard. Danny needs a bit of RNG to get damage done through that.
Bit more of RNG if he wants to actually win with that graveyard against the poison. That's already a big counter. He does have the bowler, which is not really going to connect too much damage. That's going to be the question that Danny will have to answer within the next few minutes.
Beautiful timing on that E-Wiz, making sure that everything could be taken down. We're taking minimal damage on his E-Wiz. Will that guard get through? Minion will be taken out there by the Princess Tower. Danny has 1 elixir advantage at this point, but that's pretty much nothing, let's be real.
Yeah, as the last tornado, actually, Pyrameki switches side because the left bottom actually didn't take too much, but the tornado,
just not enough.
Yeah, that was placed well, actually. And with that placement, it's actually really hard unless you have it early before on.
I think you can do it if you can push the miner over ever so slightly with something like a log. Then you can pull it in, but
or like a giant
at that
snowball.
point it's really expensive. Yeah.
This early into the game, you might want to activate that, but that was a failed attempt. Now the Mega Knight diving in pretty healthy, jumping onto the Ice Wizard, who's gone now.
Yeah, interesting poison there from Danny. Now it's hitting absolutely nothing for most of its duration here, and everything's going down. That tower looks like it's doomed. The Mega Knight is attacking the tower, not the guards. The Inferno Dragon is there trying to clean it up, trying to clean up the offensive units from Danny, but no dice. 7/7/2 remain for Danny's bottom left-hand tower, and another miner comes through.
Yeah, we only got a few hits on the top right, but that's not enough as much as Pyrameki actually doing. Look at that poison. Pre-placed poison hitting everyone right now.
Yep, that is it.
Ooh, that
Danny.
E-Wizard deleted. We barely got to see that dropping down, so Pyrameki has a big comeback in game 2.
Yeah, Pyrameki played that one way better than game 1. But I gotta question, like, bringing Graveyard again. Give your opponent time to understand what you're trying to do. He just brings the poison and essentially shuts it down. Like, that's one of the risks, I think, with keeping the same deck from game 1 and game 2.
Yeah, that's usually we had a lot. We had tons of those back in the first season, but eventually a lot of the team's players find out that okay, if I just bring the same thing again, I will very likely lose. I think playing the same one and losing again was actually a big risk. I can't really recall the exact percentage right now, but it actually was near like 30 to 40% winning if they use the same deck again.
Yeah. Well, Danny learned the hard way here as Pyrameki takes game 2. So will we see Danny try and play something different here, or do you think it's a bit too stubborn and we'll stick with the
mind game? That's the mind game you won't have when you bring your deck.
But I mean, okay, it is a mind game, but when you play Graveyard, I mean, you just need the poison to help defend. And you can defend really effectively. Anyway, game 3, Danny Pyrameki. Let's get into this one.
Yeah, and poison pairs up basically with
everything.
Everything.
Name one deck poison doesn't fit into.
Giant Sparky.
You can put poison in there, it'll get rid of...
Fireball so much.
Yeah, Fireball is better. Okay, Royal Ghost against the Miner here, so Danny has put something slightly different this time. Looks like Pyrameki is bringing his game 2 then.
Oh, yes. She actually had good zap timing on the Inferno Dragon to reset so that Mega Knight actually stays alive. I think he's going to try the same thing.
We'll see Ewiz from the back here. And the minions will take out the Inferno Dragon. Will that... Oh, and a P.E.K.K.A. Hello, P.E.K.K.A.
Hey, Wild P.E.K.K.A. appears.
She just charges through and...
Actually not as a defensive use, but just to throw that away so the Hogs can actually go to the right side. That was actually a baited card in this case.
Yeah, look how much damage these Hogs are doing. Where is the answer? The Mega Knight has already been played. So he has to try the E-Wiz, but that's not going to help that much. Critical damage being taken there by Pyrameki. Beautiful play by Danny, holding those Hogs right until after the Mega Knight has already died.
And he has some spells ready to go as well. So that's already fatal damage basically taken Pyrameki 1 minute 30 into the game. Using a P.E.K.K.A. like that as a bait.
It's risky, but it works.
It's risky, but Pyrameki, I think he should have also kind of knew that it smells fishy. He just used the P.E.K.K.A. for nothing.
But I mean, he had nothing there. What would he have that was good
that's
against
actually tough. Yeah, that's actually
Mega Knight was already gone.
He doesn't really have anything like the guards or like the goblins that the small units that can buy time, or skeletons even against the P.E.K.K.A.
We do see Pyrameki now. Royal Ghost down the left-hand side, trying to get some sneaky damage. Pig split this time, so the Royal Hogs 2 to the left, 2 to the right. The Mega Knight comes down. The Fireball is there to take out whatever was there, and then the minions and the Mega Knight and the Inferno Dragon. This is actually kind of scary.
He needs a P.E.K.K.A. right now to delete that Mega Knight, but the Inferno Dragon locks onto him. No! Okay, he was just in time to reset, but the Miner is doing damage. The Pyrameki, this attack is working somewhat for him, but he's got 30 seconds.
Yeah, so we do have to see Danny defend really well right now. The Inferno Dragon is very close to that tower. The Rascal Girls trying to take it down. The Royal Ghost is there. Takes out the E-Wiz. 3, 8, 9 on that tower. Royal Hogs, we'll see the Fireball probably come in any time soon.
Yeah, with the Fireball can just be game right after. 11 left, that can be cleared with the Zap. So Danny's basically got this game 4 seconds, and Pyrameki cannot change this around.
Yep, Danny takes game number 3. And that takes us to the old King of the Hill.
Oh, good old King of the Hill.
Good old King of the Hill.
And there's Goblin muscles here. Double deck Goblin muscles.
So, what are we going to see in the King of the Hill?
I would just say, I would actually, if I was a coach, I would just bring, if I was a coach for Valve or Detonation, I would just have our 1v1 player just playing it again. Unless they want to take a break or something. Because it seemed like both of the players actually had a pretty good flow when they had the right deck choice. It wasn't really much of the skills. I can't really say. Later part when Pyrameki already had a tower drop down to those Hog to 800, his Mega Knight drops, actually not really hitting too many pigs. I think that was one of the later mistakes that he did.
Yeah.
But before that, he was actually okay, not too bad.
Yeah, both these players had a very good read of each other, Danny and Pyrameki, because that game was very back and forth. And you said you probably have a 30% win rate when you play the same deck.
I think it was high 30% or low 40%.
Pyrameki also learned that the hard way. Trying to bring the same deck in game, I mean, ouch.
Ouch.
We do see Oz, Danny, and then Rad. So Yakitori taking a quick breather today for Fav Gaming.
So and Oz coming in, thinking with the fresh. He has been waiting all that time.
Tempura too. Tempura coming in second for Detonation Gaming. And what that does is just gives Pyrameki a little bit more time to recoup himself if he is needed in this game.
Well, we can play all Clash Royale all day long, and Elixir Collector ban. We have not seen this too much ever since Exo Master switched out his ban to a different card. But this is just specifically against the Three Musketeers. We have seen this again and again against the Japanese teams.
Yeah, we do see that Detonation Gaming, they do like to play Three Musketeers. We do see a lot of Japanese teams actually using those Three Musketeers. But we do get Oz, and he has not played much this season at all. He lost 2-0 to One Crown, and then lost 2-0 in a 2v2 when he played with Yakitori to OP Gaming. He has not got the best record this season.
And this 1v1, I believe, was the Hog Rider Moral deck that he has tried, and didn't turn out to be too great, I would say. As that has a really good, it's not really countered too hard, but you got to be really skilled when you're defending against it.
Ku here is arguably the expert 2v2 player for Detonation Gaming, being bought out in the King of the Hill first. So far, he has lost to Beaver, Yao Yao, and Expo Master. Not the greatest results from him in King of the Hill.
But it's just, I don't really count King of the Hill results too much unless the player has like the 3-0 against the other team. Because it's only a single game, it's all up to deck choice. What kind of balanced deck do you want to bring when you have these bans? Three Musketeer, even with that Elixir Collector ban, still can be used. Very likely in this meta right now.
It takes a very special deck without Elixir Collector to play Three Musketeers. I mean, yes, it is possible, but is it effective? I think the jury's out. We do see quite a few decks now without the Elixir Collectors.
Yes, the Royal Hog with that Three Musketeer, and even with...
So you defend until double Elixir time and then just try to overwhelm your opponent. But I don't know, it's kind of tricky because there are answers to the Three Musketeers. Tornado them all together and stopping the split, then fireballing them. Whew.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good strategy, as we have everything else. You have the Tornado out there, so it seems like Barrel is going to be a pretty hard one because it will activate the King Tower when the Tornado is there. Even the Miner will have to be a little cautious of the placement, where it's going to be.
Actually, that's an interesting point. We haven't seen Barbarian Barrel so far today. A card that we see nearly all the time now in Grand Challenges and a lot of Clash Royale leagues, but not so far today between these two teams.
It's pretty hard to utilize, and it's a different deck choice when the Barbarian Barrel comes in. It's actually a replacement of Log these days, a lot for defensive use, and some paired up with the Graveyard deck. I think that's the one that you were talking about.
So you throw out the Barbarian Barrel to stand at the front and tank for the skeletons that come in the back. We saw Danny use the Splash Shard with the Bowler. You can replace a few cards in there and then just make it the very generic Barb Barrel skeleton deck.
That's the one we see a lot in the last few weeks. Let's see if they have it brought here, because it does have a pretty high win rate right now.
Yes, it does. But Oz here choosing what looks to be a bait deck. The barrel comes in, does get a 2, I think, stabs onto that tower. 2-2-3-7 remain.
So he's going to have the bait, and knowing that Tornado is available, he puts all the goblins onto the left bottom corner.
Yep.
And this is what Oz actually played last time as well. Let's see if he can do it better.
Yeah, the mortar is going to take out those skeletons. Oof, all 5 in one, and then it pops itself. Dark Goblin played at the back as the Lava Hound from Ku comes in on that left-hand side. We see the Rascal Girls. The Dark Goblin does connect onto the tower.
Stop. It's going to do so much damage. It will actually break the entire tower.
Oh, that's not what you want to see as any Clash Royale player, regardless of where you are in rankings. Just so much damage. The tower just deleted itself. But this is scary again.
Passes that. Mega Minion locking onto the tower. He has a lot of elixirs, and it seems like he just wants to give this up and plan his own attack onto the other side. Oz with the giant skeleton variation.
Very interesting with the giant skeleton here in this deck. Is it a good fit? We don't usually see giant skeleton with the mortar rascal. Right?
It's not the most common one.
Dark Goblin will start trying to take out that Inferno Dragon. It will succeed, especially with the help of the Princess Tower from behind and a miner from Oz. It's like he's playing 2 different decks.
But he's creating his own win choice once again. But with the King Tower now onto the Princess Tower. The push with the barrel is not going to be as effective, so Oz he does have to think about his own defense before that happens.
The Goblin Gang there, someone in the middle, giant skeletons there too to try and distract everything away. But that Lava Hound is going to get to the tower. The Rascal Girls go down. The Miner is there too. Has to summon a defensive Miner. The Dark Goblin is fireballed away, and there is still so much here.
The Baby Dragon will be the problem. The Mega Minion will be getting shots from King Tower that will be deleted soon. Baby Dragon did a lot of damage, but now Oz making defensive moves while his own attack is not really working from the Tombstone. Let's see how he does it this time.
Yeah, so the barrel comes in with the giant skeleton tanking everything. A defensive Miner from Ku. This is going to be enough. Gets quite a few stabs there. Giant skeleton does go down in the middle, and the Rascal Girls take care of that Lava Hound.
Yeah, Pups does connect a few shots, so 100 damages, but he wants to do direct damage. Oz wants to finish the game right now, not just scratches. He has his Miner now. Goblin actually getting a connection there as well.
The Dark Goblin does go down to the Baby Dragon, and a Lava Hound in the pocket with the Baby Dragon coming straight towards it. Does summon the Rascals in defense and hopes that his towers plus the Dark Goblin can take out that Lava Hound before it does too much damage.
Lava with the Pups, but the Miner connects to the tower once again. The Rascal Boy heading one shot. That's not going to be enough as the entire set of units deleted with a single zap there.
Yeah, so the barrel does come in. Played right at the back. Gets one. All 3 get a stab each. Oh my goodness, 660 remaining. Whew. This is really back and forth. This is so close. The Death Bomb does take out the Mega Minion. Will he have an answer for the Lava Hound coming in now? It doesn't look like he wants to. The Miner's coming in the back. The Goblin Gang were played in the pocket. The Miner is getting stuff done. Is it going to go down? The Rascal Boy gets one in. Just enough damage there. Oz takes out Ku in game 1 of this King of the Hill.
That's exactly how he does it. It almost seemed like he was waiting for this moment. When the lava was put down, and the baby, he knew that the opponent Ku used way too much elixirs. And then you sent everything in your pocket, Miner to the back of the tower, the Goblin Gang, and even the Zap to do extra damage. And he just pulled out everything that he had in his hand.
That was definitely a game of 2 halves. Like the first half of that looked like a very standard mortar deck. It had the mortar, the Rascals, the Goblins, and then like.
And then the moment
20?
we don't see Princess, and then suddenly we saw those bones marching down the road.
It's just like he gave up and started a separate deck halfway through. It's very interesting choice from him.
Which was actually not a bad one. Once you figured out the attack was only coming to the right side, because it cut down all the units coming behind the lava, like the Baby Dragon getting hit and the Mega Minion getting deleted.
But now we see Tempura coming in. King of the Hill 3 and 5, 1v1, 2 and 4. He has beaten Kensameshi, has beaten SB, but lost to Benzeridel, TNT, Dabong TV, and KK in his 1v1 sets.
And he's a Miner lover. And so he brings out a lot of Miner poison. Of course, the meta one right now, which actually involves some Zappies. Zappies, Battle Ram, Bandit. I think Tempura is one of the ones that actually likes to play Bandit compared to the other players. And he understands. And sometimes even getting the pocket charge when he already has a tower down. Let's see if that's possible in that second game.
Yeah, we are getting into game 2, this time between Oz and Tempura. Bans stay the same throughout the whole of King of the Hill, just in case you were wondering. And Oz throws out the good luck here.
Elixir Collector banned, so less likely going to have those beatdowns at all.
Mega Knight straight on top of the miner there. Not taking any damage, and will start to bring out this push. The Inferno Dragon will take care of it though.
He's got to bring his own and hope that he has a zap here. And he just has a poison for now to actually deal all the skeletons.
But the Inferno Dragon, oh, guards played. All right, that distracts that Inferno Dragon. He was very close to targeting the tower there.
But he had more than enough elixirs, and he was waiting for the perfect time to get less poison damage in. I think that's what he was waiting for.
Yeah, and now Tempura throws out the Lava Hound as Oz counters with the Bandit and the Miner on the other side. This is going to get a lot of damage done. And the Tornado only pulls the Bandit into the middle, but that is going to mean that Miner will start to be less effective throughout the game as that third tower starts to attack it.
Not just the Miner, a lot of those units are actually close-up melee range doing damage. So we'll see the counterattack coming down from Tempura. It has been set up for this amount of time.
Yeah, the Inferno attack, the Inferno Dragons trying to blast each other down, and both
survive.
do go down.
I think he wanted to have it alive so that it locks onto the lava, helping it to actually do a little less damage. This poison, it's all the pubs, but not catching the Miner will hurt a little more.
Yeah, that tower down to 1,051. It's very difficult to read the number there, but that is a lot of damage taken by Oz. So what are we going to see him do next? Another Lava Hound from Tempura, and the Miner from Oz starts attacking the one place that Miner is safe from the King Tower.
Yeah, and that's going to be really easy for Tempura to actually put his guards later on if he chooses to do so, because so far right now, it seems like he wants to make his full attack. That's why he didn't put down the guards on the right.
Yeah, Fireball instantly taking out the minions. We see the Bandit on the left, on the right-hand side, charges into the guards. That's going to be shut down quickly. There is a poison here on the Baby Dragon, and the Inferno Dragon cleans all of that up. The minions clean up the Miner. 97 HP remaining on that bottom left-hand tower. Will Oz have any way to get enough damage done? The Bandit charges into the tower. 454, 294, and that Tornado might give her almost. That means both towers are now one spell away. Tempura definitely has Fireball in his hand. Oz might need to cycle for that poison, but it will be enough to finish it off. There are 10 seconds left to reach that part of their cycle. But and he chooses to go for the Mega Knight.
He wants to go for... Is he thinking about the 3 crown because the poison just used already? And going onto the right side, because that would actually mean that he wants to have his own attack. As the defense would come with the lava.
Yep, the Lava Hound is there. The Inferno Dragon's going to start picking at it.
So he actually wants to go to the King Tower. Bandit charges less than 2,000.
It's getting work done, but this is kind of scary now. Tempura has a lot of stuff. The Miner in the back, a Fireball just hitting the tower, missed the Ewiz, missed the Inferno Dragon. Tempura with a bit of a mistake there, not catching enough.
For sure, Tombstone here to block, but the E-Wizard will take care of those skeletons. Even Bandit getting a charge after these skeletons. He will get the charge onto the King Tower, but just blocked, but that's needed. 1,000, I think we're going to 3 crowns.
It's going to be it. Oz, 158 remain, 94. Miner. There's the poison. Tempura goes down, and it looks like Oz might get an all kill here.
He was charging all of his energy to Clash Royale Elixir power in the bench, and he has brought up. It seems like Donnie and Red might not even play for the King of the Hill tonight.
Yeah, Oz, a guy who before today did not have any record at all, is now getting it done. Incredible plays from him. He played a very strange deck in Game 1. In Game 2, he just played incredibly solid. Gets the 3 crowns as well, and now he has to go against Pyrameki, arguably Detonation Gaming's best player.
Usually, even with that Mega Knight, you would go for that 2nd crown because Bandit, you can get the pocket charge onto the Princess Tower onto the other side. But because the opponent would be expecting that, I think he used that mind game to go for that King Tower. What a crazy player we have here.
Yeah, and here is Pyrameki. Let's take a look at who he has taken out. He's taken out Martin. Took out Big Daddy Ho and Expo Master when he all killed King Zone Dragon X. He took out Yao Yao, took out Thunder and Sado. Has only lost to Beaver, Dabong, SB, TNT, and Lampo in King of the Hills.
Well, Pyrameki has got his own play, and that can be made with his own Royal Hogs, and that's what he actually uses the most in 1v1. He has dropped against Danny tonight, but he has made his own play when the game was right. Deck was just right for him, and he actually needs to bring this up because if he loses, the entire team goes down.
Yep, and it will kill pretty much any hope they have of qualifying if DetonatioN Gaming lose now. Whatever little hope is left will probably be out the window.
For 5 Gaming, they need to have this win for them. And Oz is about to finish it. Let's get into what is possibly the last game of the first match. Game number 3 between Oz and Pyrameki.
Yeah, Oz in blue at the bottom. Just chilling out for a few seconds, building that elixir up as Pyrameki. Also, not doing much at the start of the game. Will we see us wait into double elixir time? The answer is no. The Royal Ghost from Pyrameki comes out and a Prince from Oz.
We have seen a lot of Giant Prince decks in 1v1. I think we're about to see it as well, which is not a bad one against what Pyrameki should have.
Night Witch. Alright, Night Witch played in the back. Is this going to be a Golem Prince deck? It would be an interesting choice if it is. The Battle Ram comes in. Nice log there. Didn't quite take out the E-Wiz. And a Royal Ghost will help take out those Barbarians.
Night Witch goes down, so it's actually not the best trade that Oz wants to have in this case.
And a Bandit from Pyrameki. Pyrameki's definitely bringing that control deck that we see quite a lot. And the Bandit gets the charge in. Only the charge though, 2-2-1-4 remain. Didn't get any extra hits.
I believe it charges about 300 damage. So nice first damage that he has already put in. Because in the animation of dash, basically the Bandit is invincible.
Yeah, it's considered an iframe as she dashes towards the tower.
She actually goes through logs and all the spells.
She goes through everything. Alright, we do see the Night Witch played at the back. Is the Battle Ram on the right-hand side for Pyrameki. Starts charging in. The Royal Ghost will be there to try and answer it, but there are minions who will help clear him up quite quickly.
There's the charge. Actually, he charges up about 500 damage, though, down to below 2,000 already. 1,500! With few shots from Barbarians, too.
A lot of damage got done there, and Oz's deck just looks, again, a very hodgepodge kind of mix, I would say.
Pyrameki's towers, look at that. Barely scratched. And
now it's
a
scratched
little
with
more.
that zap. Oh! Terrible damage from that zap. Anyway, we see the Prince against the Royal Ghost. This has been the tale of this game so far. Prince charges in, takes it out. E-Wiz in the back will help stop it. Battle Ram, though, is it going to connect? The log stops it. And those Barbarians take out the Night Witch.
Yeah, the Night Witch not pairing up with the attacks that Oz wants to have. That's why Pyrameki is separating these attacks. Of course, with the Battle Ram, it's actually a pretty hard matchup for Oz. He wants to focus all onto the one side, but this is not a good place for him right now.
Yeah, the Prince will take out the Battle Ram. Fireball comes in, taking out the minions.
Still, that's a lot of elixirs used for the defense. And look at the elixir difference when Pyrameki is winning already. It's going to help him a lot here.
The Bandit gets a charge into the Royal Ghost there. And the E-Wiz will just stop that Night Witch from getting anything done. A Royal Ghost and minions on the left-hand side. Night Witch is in the middle. Nice log there to push back the Barbarians. And the Royal Ghost is in the middle, attacking the Night Witch instead of the tower.
Even the minions did a couple hundred damage onto the left side. And Pyrameki, all he has to do is defend this one.
Fireball to take out the E-Wiz. The Prince will take out the Bandit. Will he be able to get a charge onto the tower? No, the Royal Ghost is there.
Giving it no time to actually get the charge, so the Royal Ghost actually survives. This has to be defended as well. But actually, no, the major attack is coming from the left side.
Oh! Didn't quite get the charge in there. But the Barbarians do get locks onto the tower. 6-5-2 on that tower. Nos just isn't managing to find a way to break through the defense of Pyrameki.
Nice zap to actually have one more staff from the Prince. It's going to let the Mega Minion actually do quite a lot of damage, but still nowhere close to what Pyrameki is doing right now.
So the Royal Ghost Night Witch is back up. Bandit on the right-hand side. Is he going to have anything to defend? Yes, the Prince is there. That will take him out. Poison comes down from Pyrameki, essentially nullifying that Night Witch. And the minions will be there to clean up as well. And the damage getting done to the tower is going to start to take it down into 2 poison range.
Yeah, with this Battle Ram Bandit, the bridge spam, it's always easier to have that onto the other side. Surprise attack, but also he's going to line his things up, never happening. Pyrameki is really making his deck use.
You see the Battle Ram and the
minions. Prince actually onto the left side.
Yeah, chooses not to go for the Battle Ram. That is potentially it for that tower. The Mega Minion's going to try and help defend, but he's going to take a lot of damage here. 759 remain. Will Pyrameki be able to finally break through? Finally summons his first Giant of the game.
And have a minute 15, but Battle Ram is marching straight towards it. Giant is pretty slow, but once he's locked onto the tower, he may actually do it. There's a punch. Oz gets the win. 3 wins in a row and a streak. And the entire squad of Detonation will go down.
Oz all kills DetonatioN Gaming. Oz, who has only played 2 games this season. What? He plays 1 Giant and made it count.
And actually having the Princess onto the left side, making it seem like that's going to be the final push, was the bait. And well, Pyrameki actually bite onto it, and then the moment they had the Giant, he had the Giant placed onto right. The tower I believe had more than 1,000 HP still, but Giant is slow, but it does the damage.
It was at full health. I think it was almost at full health before it went down in that last game. Yeah,
it was pretty up there from what we know, because compared to what Pyrameki did until the last final moments of the game. Well, if you do thousands of damage to both towers over time, only 1 tower counts, and that's what you're looking for. And he had that Giant available at the very end. What a cool play to see here.
Yeah, we didn't even need Danny. Nuts.
Yep, no rat. But let's get to hear from Oz. Interview will have translation.
今までキングオブザヒルで登場する機会がなかったというところもあって結構緊張されてたかと思いますがいかがでしたか？
そうですね、緊張もあってなかなかチームがこうなんていうんですかね、もう一つ勝てないっていうのがあって、やっぱりそこの起爆剤にならなきゃいけないっていうのもあって。
Yep, there's our mic now.
Yep.
I was having a cool time with some coffee, but seems like I can't be off guard, just like the players at all.
Yeah, taking a quick drink.
And that's the thing, because the interview was, it seemed like we had some audio issues in the middle, so they just cut it right in the middle, but we got to hear from Oz just a little bit.
Yeah, he said hello.
Yeah.
What an interview
just
by
a little
Oz.
bit. And he was actually a little nervous, you know, but still having 3 wins with some ripe deck choices. I think he made some, not the most crisp 1v1s we've seen ever, but he got the 3-0 win. And that's match number 1. We still have 2 more matches coming up. All Japanese teams tonight, but we'll be back right after some commercials. Welcome back to Royale League Asia, and we have match number 2, the first place and second place of Japan going against each other. And Simon, this is a hype match that I have been expecting to watch for all week.
Yeah, this has been the highlight of my week so far. GameWith in second place versus PONOS Sports in first place. This is going to be electric.
It's going to be the electric fire, whatever the firepower we have in the house. We'll bring it with the squad of GameWith here. And all of these players, if you see, not just 2v2, they can play 1v1s as well. Shun KK really strong, especially on top of all those 4.
Yeah, and Amaterasu, not the greatest at 1v1, but he's always got a smile on his face, and he can take a game off anyone in this league. But Amaterasu, Yuhiro, and KK will be the active players today. And I believe it was Shun who is the fourth active player who can be used in that King of the Hill.
Oh, yes. And on the other side, this is the best team right now in terms of standings. PONOS Sports, 10 God Rocky Jones, and that Booyah. Rolla Perron and Fuchi will be actually not here today, but the other 4, they're here. And the guy with the hat who never takes his jacket off because it's plus, I believe he said it was extra power for him to have the jacket.
Yeah, it's plus 10 attack power for
for anything you drop down on the field.
It is a nice jacket, you got to admit, but
that's like a legendary item.
We were talking about this before the broadcast, right? You know when PONOS Sports is serious when they put Mikamboya in the 1v1, and he bans out the log.
Ooh, log bait.
Well, anyway, 2v2, Amaterasu and Yuhiro ban out the Tornado, Reiki Jones and Tengod ban out that Lava Hound, KK in the 1v1 bans out the Nado, and Mikamboya bans out the...
Talking about 2v2 first. We'll see a lot of those golems, the ones you saw before, Giant Skeleton, Royal Giant. A lot of those giants in action will be coming right up, I believe. But when we had this matchup a long time ago, we actually went back to the log bait there with the Princess, the Goblins, and the Barrow, even some Miners in that deck choice as well for 1v1 and 2v2.
Yeah, we see the bans just coming out one more time, confirming here. Just taking a look, Tengod and Reiki Jones, they started off as the 2v2 pair against Detonation, against Fab, and they played one other game against Kingzone, and they were undefeated actually. Undefeated in those games, and then they switched to Mikamboya Tengod. So, this should be really good.
This is the best match, I think. That's going to highlight the matchup. Basically, the most important one for both teams. If PONOS wins this one, they're basically securing their first spot in Japan. So they will qualify for the postseason as the first place from Japan. But GameWith, if they wins, that creates a lot of drama and some numbers to run down for all of us.
Well, if GameWith win here, it kind of staves off the Wolves biting at their ankles that is Fav Gaming. So the more distance they can put between themselves and Fav Gaming, the better, because Fav Gaming are looking hungry for victories. But we are about to get into Game 1 here with GameWith's Amaterasu and Yuhiro versus PONOS Sports and Reiki Jones.
First 2v2, Lava is banned out. Are we going to see some crazy balloon action at the end? It seems like we have a lot of choices here. First, starting off with the Miner.
Yeah, the Miner and the Bats. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. though does make mincemeat out of it, but a couple of the Bats get a couple of hits onto that tower. 2-2-6-6 remain. And both teams have a Giant Skeleton. Royal Giant now from PONOS Sports. Well, Bomb Tower. Well, that's going to distract the Royal Giant for quite a bit of time, and the Magic Archer doesn't get any hits onto that Royal Giant.
Actually just marches away to the left side. That's not a big of a help. As GameWith, they need extra defense because that did about 1,000 damage at the bottom.
Yeah, but look at the Miner and the Poison now for Yuhiro and Amaterasu. Getting that damage down onto that tower. A Lightning as well. Oof.
Lightning should charge the Electric.
Just make him stronger.
Yes, including the Teslas.
Turns into Raiden from Mortal Kombat. Just overpowered! Anyway, Royal Giant Skeleton loaded up again for PONOS Sports.
Last time they had the bomb tower. This time they had the bowler, but it doesn't really. Yeah, it doesn't really push back.
But Pekka though, Pekka will start to mess around with the positioning of these units. And the Royal Giant didn't get anything done because the Giant Skeleton and the Royal Giant couldn't decide who was going which way.
That was the thing, that you can actually work around a little bit. This bowler, I'd say it didn't really go too far, but it did the damage with the defense.
The Giant Skeleton is there, and we can see the tug-of-war battle that
poor
Giant Skeleton is, the poor Royal Giant stuck between a rock.
It actually retargets into the tower because it was out away from the bomb tower. That's really hard to see, which was created by GameWith. Wow, that got 2 hits in.
It's kind of crazy, the interaction between the Giant Skeleton and the Royal Giant right now. Since they reduced the range on the Royal Giant, he just gets pushed around everywhere by a Giant Skeleton that's distracted by something.
Nice zap there to have no damage taken. But the miners, they will connect few damage.
Fireball 2, 4, 8, 9 remain. And the Magic Archer is going to get an angle through that Giant Skeleton just for the one shot though. The Royal Giant Skeleton on the right hand side are pushing down on this tower. Do they have anything to defend? There is the bomb tower. The Skeletons will push it away. A lightning will take it out, and we can see now the Giant Skeleton is just pushing that Royal Giant everywhere, making it less effective, but the Giant Skeleton gets onto the tower, and he's going to get onto this King Tower as well. Will GameWith have enough damage? 49 left in the tank. There is a log, and that will tie us up at 1 tower each.
So all about the second tower now, second round. The miner already going, and no defense whatsoever.
One solitary bat.
But got taken out by the fireball, so that's not too much of a use. Bat's actually doing a great amount of work against the bowler here, as that's going to be very less effective.
Double Giant Skeleton. There is a poison. Will they have anything to distract these Giant Skeletons? The Royal Giant is never going to get through here, surely. Oh, he does get to the bomb tower, though, and another Royal Giant is there. And a log comes in to try and push everything back. And the explosion damage now, slowing everything down with that Giant Skeleton. The death damage will take out the Royal Giant, but he does get 1 hit.
Just 1 hit, which is a lot less than what Miner did before. Not this time, but lightning, of course, hurting the tower. About 300 there.
Yeah, 1, 5, 1, 2 remain. There's the Miner again. And this time the Tombstone comes down to distract him. A poison is there. And that Magic Archer is going to get the damage. E-Wiz, perfect reset there.
Just in time, because you can actually, with the tower down, having the units above the bridge and below the bridge is totally possible. They got to make use of that. And the defensive move, bomb damage will connect once again, though.
I mean, that's
getting scary.
Dangerous, yeah. A log to push back the Royal Giant a little bit more. We can see this tug of war starting again as he's pushed here, there, and everywhere. But the Royal Giant in the pocket is getting a lot more work done without the Giant Skeleton pushing him around. 1, 4, 3, 4 against 1, 2, 0, 0. And the Miner not answered correctly with the poison coming down as well. That's going to be a lot of damage.
The second Miner.
The Miner at the back.
Will actually, he was just in time because they're not really doing too well with those Royal Giants of their own. They got to connect the damage as another one approaches. There's a Pekka. The log can push him back.
Yeah, the log keeps him away.
One shot.
The Lightning doesn't even manage to take out the Pekka. The Pekka's going to keep moving forward. Will take out something there. The Giant Skeleton is in front again. Royal Giant in the pocket. Nothing answered this time for GameWith. Bomb Tower was too late.
And Tengaraki Jones, they will take the first game, as they should have been expecting that coming down very soon. But sometimes you want to have your own attack. You do forget about it. And if you place it too early, the opponent is going to make fun of it and use it later when it's about to die. So it was really hard to pull off. They had some nice reflection, but not just in time. It's really hard to do that.
Yeah, the Royal Giant in the pocket is so strong. Especially when, like, PONOS Sports were baiting the defense to move forward through that little gap, over the bridge. And then as soon as those units were at the bridge, in comes the Royal Giant in the pocket, goes to town on those towers. But I gotta say, it is hilarious seeing a Royal Giant being pushed around between like a giant skeleton sandwich.
I know, those giant skeletons were trying to hug that Royal Giant in between, and somehow they were actually attacking each other.
Just, it's like punching around a friend, like, you know, your friend's in the middle and you two are trying to fight and you're like punching around him. Like, I want to hit
And
this
then the guy in the middle has no interest between the two. There were some funny interactions as they're pretty big in pixels.
But I mean, that is something that PONOS Sports need to think about if they're ever going to try that deck again, is they got to find a way to stop that from happening.
Bomb tower and a few extra defensive moves was not enough to stop all the way, but they were also close. They got some minor work done, but later on into the game, Tenga Raiki Jones, they just had a better defense. Let's get into game 2. Skeleton Barrel.
And Bats as well coming in, and it looks as though GameWith might be bringing the same deck. The log is too early there. He's going to catch those skeletons. And the bowler is more concerned with the miner, and a lot of damage is being done by those bats. Oh my goodness, 1173 off the first push.
Oh, you hear Amaterasu. They're having some emotional moments going through their head right now as they have taken way too much damage. And even this one against the bats, doing so much damage. This tower
and
is
the
going
miner,
down.
yeah, that tower is dead.
He wanted to have the Mega Minion attacking the miner first and then maybe taking down the bats along with those arrows.
But it just didn't happen for
yeah,
them.
the first few seconds of this game just dismantled their play here.
Yeah, it does look like Yuhiro and Amaterasu are kind of on tilt right now. They're just not defending properly. The log this time does connect with the skeletons from that barrel.
Single, not a mistake, but mistimed spell use can cost this much. And they're trying to come back here. Let's see how far they can actually go through.
Poison comes down. They are getting some tick damage onto that tower, but not too much. The E-Wiz taken out by the tower. And it's so good watching PONOS Sports play 2v2. They are so communicative compared to a lot of other teams.
Yeah, look at that, Tenga Raiki Jones. Even if they're doing nothing, they're still communicating.
Hogs come down, and the miner as well. And the bowler is just going to slowly push things away.
Yeah, good placement of bowler, actually. Miner not going all the way to the bag was actually a better use for GameWith. Logs getting some value, taking out the shield, pushing them back.
Oh, that magic archer is just getting so much damage done here. Fireball to take it out. This giant skeleton is going to get next to the tower. Oh no, that's equalized.
And even catching the Inferno. No, not actually, no, but it's going to continue. The real attack's coming, but they got the bomb tower again. So the Hogs removed already.
Skeletons instantly die there, and now we have Bats and the Mega Minion left over. Wow, that kind of just went south real quick for PONOS Sports.
The Poison actually catching the Magic Archer as well. That's a little bit of a good news for them. Poison Hog got small scratches, only Poison doing the real damage.
It's crazy to think that there is still 15 seconds left of regular time in this match. Feels like it's been going on forever, and a miner in the back there for PONOS Sports, getting more chip damage done. Poison is probably going to be the thing that will finish this off.
That was close. Without the bats, with the Mega Minion lined up with the tower that was going to get penetration. That's why they had the bats.
Pekka in the pocket, and the Royal Hogs coming in with the miner. Fireball to instantly take him out, but it didn't catch the miner. 3-4-2 on that tower, and a poison to take out the bats. And it's hard to tell. The poison
fireball,
and the fireball.
That's game. That's game for Tenga and Raiki Jones. He had enough spells with that few hits. Miner, Hog, and what it came down to was a mistake. Not a mistake, mistimed spell that they were not really expecting what to happen. The miner came late, so there was the early log, which cost them about 1,400 in the first 20 seconds of the game.
20 seconds? I thought it was the first like 10, 15. That was incredible. That tower went down so quickly. And PONOS Sports controlled most of that game, but they let it slip a little bit when they lost that tower. And then they kind of just brute forced their opponent into submission by just constantly throwing things on that left-hand side tower.
Still, I was amazed how Amaterasu and Yuhiro, they were able to get the giant skeleton all the way into the tower range, break that down, and then move on to the second one. It's because at that mark of the 20 seconds into the game, it seemed like Tenga and Raiki Jones, they have just got the game for themselves.
Yeah, and then they just let it slip. The giant skeleton gets on the tower, and giant skeletons, when they die, they deal a lot of damage to a tower.
Yeah, that's why you drag them away with some Ice Golem is a good tool.
Yep.
And guards, of course, pretty great for delaying. Anything like that could be good, but we're moving on to 1v1, and the final boss is here.
Well, it's the final boss for both these teams as KK has 100% win record, I think. Yeah, in 1v1 he has 100% win record. He's taken out Tempura, Reiki Jones, and Dylan.
Excluding the King of the Hill.
We don't count that one.
Yeah, we don't really count too much on that.
But Reiki Jones. I'm used to a normal PONOS game here. Mikamboya is actually 1-1. He beat Pyrameki and lost to Expo Master.
That's the thing, as he has been not really playing that 1v1 for the actual set 2 for the team too much, coming out a lot in the King of the Hill to solidify a win for their team.
Yeah, but I mean, very rarely do we see PONOS Sports actually get to that King of the Hill. We know they save Mikamboya for that. They put him in the 2v2 and then drop him into the King of the Hill when necessary.
Yes.
They haven't had to do it much this season. They've had to do it against... I think they've gone 3 times. Let's see. They lost to King Zone 2-1. They beat Chaos Theory 2-1. Kicks 2-1. Brent 2-1. That's it. So they've played 4 King of the Hills. And Mikamboya only had to come out in 2. One against King Zone and then against Chaos Theory where he wiped them.
The real power from this player comes out from his... not just the ban that we see, which is a little fishy that he might actually go with the log bait. But he's got a big pull with that deck. He can basically use anything and make it beautiful Clash Royale play here.
Yeah, he is one of the more flexible players, and he is like kind of the cheerleader for PONOS Sports in a way, because when he's playing 1v1 or 2v2, he's constantly talking to people. I mean, he's not talking now in 1v1, but in 2v2,
yes.
You cannot stop him from talking.
Oh, those are those hogs.
The
KK
bar
has
barrel comes in. The minions are going to try and defend, and a poison from Mikamboya.
That's a good trade to delete those minions. Also, just amount of damage to the tower. I think that's what he wanted to trade for.
So yeah, 1905 on that bottom right-hand tower. What are we going to see from these players? They've played mostly utility cards right now, and there is the Giant coming out from KK.
Yeah, with the 3 Musketeers. That one of the most trendy decks right now. Everywhere in the ladder, the Grand Challenge. That will get taken away with the Bandit variation. Okay, so he wants to have that attack. That's going to continue.
Charge didn't quite get through to the tower. Hits the Ice Spirit, but look at the damage this Bandit and Musketeer are doing on that left-hand side. But look at the damage that Mikamboya is taking on the right. That tower is out of there.
Yeah, look. With the Barbarian, the Musketeer actually survived, so extra damage from the bats as well.
Yeah, and they're going to get more damage done here as both towers have locked onto the Giant. 2-6, 2-8 on the King Tower. KK, I mean, he did trade a lot for that tower.
Is he even moving? He's so still on the camera, but Mikamboya trying it again with those hogs. He's not really splitting it because he knows that the left one could be gone with another spell. Plus some damage. He has poison. And maybe just a pocket bandit on the left bridge could be...
Is KK going for the 3 crowns here? It looks like he is. The Bandit is
He did a lot of damage,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So we see the Giant this time pulled away by the Tombstone, but the Bats are there to clean that up. A Dark Goblin from Mikamboya, though. One of the best defensive tools he has in his deck right now. The 3 Musketeers are there, though. Will they be summoned? There they go. 2 on the left side, 1 on the right side. Well, let's see what he's going to be able to get done here, because he does need to do 326 to that bottom left-hand side. But KK is controlling pretty well.
Yep. If he splits those hogs, I think he can just get some scratches and take it out with the poison. That's totally possible, really. But the double Giant push with those minions are coming. KK really wants to go get that 3 crown.
Yeah, but the Dark Goblin in that back is going to do so much defensive work. But that is a lot of bats. Is he going to take out the tower? He has no time left. That tower is just gone.
KK takes number 1 with 3 crowns against Mikamboya. I don't think I have ever seen
Mikamboya lose with 3 crowns.
Yes.
But you can see that, you know when I said that you cannot stop Mikamboya from talking? Look at the end of that. He's just talking to himself like, what the hell was that? What is going on here? KK takes game 1. Now we know KK is a great player, right? We know that he is pretty much 100% here. He has beaten Tempura, Reiki Jones, and Dylan. But did we expect him to beat Mikamboya, the legend, the man, the myth?
With 3 crowns. I don't think anyone was expecting that to come out, but that's the result we have for game 1. We still have more games. One more win for KK would have us going to the King of the Hills. Mikambuya has got his chance to come back into the set. Seems like KK, he has really got it down.
Yeah, we see Rollerper on there holding the death note for Mikambuya to fix up his decks. That black notebook has been around for a long, long time through Season 1 and Season 2.
It seems like we're in the middle of that book now.
Yeah, it's just a whole lot of names in there that Mikambuya and the rest of PONOS Sports have taken out.
It scares me, the fact that KK played that beautiful against Mikambuya. Mikambuya did not have the best counters against it, that's true. But KK, he was willing to take damage and get more all the time. It seems like what Mikambuya was trying to do with those Royal Hogs and with the 3 Musketeer, it's usually split attack, but he had the Hogs going to one side only both times in the first twice, which was a little odd of a decision when we had the poison as well. Maybe he was expecting it to do a little more damage, and which was very not effective against what KK had.
Yeah, KK was just honestly outplayed Mikambuya there, and it's not very often we get to say that phrase together, outplayed and Mikambuya, unless he is the one outplaying. We are about to get into game 2. KK playing some phenomenal Clash Royale here, taking the first game against Mikambuya, who didn't look that great.
I think that was just extra time used with the timeout.
Yep.
Seems like PONOS Sport, they really want to finish it here by turning things around. There's that Royal Ghost just taking out the Goblin Gang.
It is going to get to... Ooh, no, Rascals played just there, and this might be a mortar deck for KK here. Bats, Goblins, and Rascals usually implies the mortar deck.
Yeah, which is still powerful. But with the Tornado Ban, I think he can actually use the barrels as well.
There's the mortar, the Tombstone to distract it. Actually, just catches it on the splash damage there. Royal Ghost coming in, and the Ice Golem too. The Miner there trying to protect the mortar, doesn't get it done. And that Miner is now attacking the Royal Ghost.
But the mortar actually got the Dark Goblin, so it's not as effective. I think that was actually not a bad trade for KK as well.
Yeah, good trade for both.
Mikambuya would have loved to have that Dart coming all the way down, because it will connect a few damage at least, or force another card out.
And the Hogs come in, but there are Bats and Rascals there. They do get quite a few hits here, taking the tower down to 2-1-8-0, but the Bats and Rascals together is just so good at dealing damage incredibly quickly.
Mikambuya, he's got, instead of a Log, he does have the Barbarian Barrel, and Log is banned out. That's another reason why we have the Barbarian Barrel here.
Yeah, and another mortar here for KK. He's going to start hitting, goes for the Skeleton instead of the Tombstone, but it does go down. The Miner is taking out the Dark Goblin, but it does get taken out itself. And these Spear Goblins almost take out the Royal Ghost there.
Just not enough as it goes invisible. Barely the damage to either side. Some damage for KK, but his Miner, it was defensive use, but let's take a look as Poison again here with the Hogs.
That Poison was absolutely beautifully timed. The Bats came down just as the Poison was applied to the field. And look at that, 1-4-9-2. Probably the best Hogs we've seen so far, the most effective Hog play we've seen from Mikambuya this game.
He has the 3 Musketeers. The Mortar will be doing damage to the 2. Onto the side, KK has taken some damage from having the Rascals going to the right now. The Hogs come onto both. There's a zap, but the left still remains.
Yeah, we see the 1 Musketeer now getting taken out by the Miner, but the Dark Goblin at the back is just getting work done, clearing up all those defensive units, and now it is behind the Ice Golem. Goblin Gang comes out, that will take him out, and now 4 of them are just walking towards the tower, and another mortar played by KK. Royal Ghost there trying to stop it, does get splash onto the tower, and the Barbarian Barrel comes in and now starts hitting at that mortar. The mortar is connecting damage onto the tower.
It's taken out by the Princess Tower and the Rascal Boy as well, but the real push is happening with the Hogs. The Dark Goblin actually doing so much damage. Bats has to come out. Need that Dark Goblin, but still 3 remaining, now 2.
Yeah, and the Bats do clear them up quite quickly, but there is 1,020. It looks as though this tower is slowly slipping away from KK.
As KK, he needs to connect the mortal damage to the tower or the miner to the tower, but he has to drop it in a defensive use like this all the time.
Yeah, beautifully placed poison there, but the Spear Goblins just taking out everything else. The Goblin Gang plus the Spear Goblins, and now they're going to connect onto the tower. They're going to get quite a few spears in. The Dark Goblin needed for the defense takes out the Rascal Boy, the Rascal Girl, and quite a few Goblins himself.
The Hogs actually push the Ice Golem all the way really fast, actually, letting it actually do slow damage to the Rascals.
Yeah, this Royal Ghost taking out anything green that he sees. And the miner at the back instantly deleted by those 3 Musketeers.
Oh man, those bullets just goes through the miner's heart, and it seems like Mikambuya is getting closer with the poison damage onto the tower. It's gonna put it down to about 400 left.
Yeah, as you said, it's slowly slipping away from KK. He has 1 minute and 30 seconds to either get the victory or play for the draw. That is his choice right now. The Fireball comes in, well defending those Hogs, but the Hogs on the right-hand side are free to engage. One is still there, 1-4-3-4, 1-3-7-5, 1-3-1-6 on that tower.
Ice Golem taking the shots for the Mortal, and the Barbarian Barrow actually taking down the Mortal.
The Dark Goblin connected, 1-8-2, there's the poison.
That's it.
But the Miner and the Mortar and the so much damage getting done on the other side. Is it going to be enough?
What does that? Oh, this race. He made the final attempt, but KK could not do it, and Mikambuya will bring it back. We go down to the final game, Simon.
Yeah, I honestly thought that KK had lost that already. And then he almost had enough damage. He almost eked out just the right amount of damage to beat the poison from Mikambuya, but it wasn't enough.
Poison takes a long time, 8 seconds. Exactly. Fireball, KK actually had the Fireball, but not enough elixirs at the moment, and he even uses that, but not just so close, as he was trying to do the right amount of damage, but it's not in case because he basically used the Miner as a defensive tool like 8 out of 10 times in this game.
Yeah, it just could never really use it offensively, and that's one of the reasons why Mikambuya won that game, is because he didn't have to worry about it. But another timeout is called, and this time I believe is from GameWith. We see them discussing quite deeply about what they're going to play. This match will decide everything. If Mikambuya takes this, PONOS Sports increase their lead at the top of the table and all but guarantee they will win the Japanese division. But if GameWith can take this now, they're still in it.
That's exactly so. A lot
riding on this one.
A lot of story behind it, and the result is going to matter a lot for both of the teams right here. In GameWith, they're just 1 game away. PONOS, they're just 1 game away being first place for Japan after all these weeks. This season was a very, very long season, and to put yourself in the lead, making sure you qualify for the very close to the finals, actually. Being in the finals, just not really playing for that wild card. That's gonna relieve some stress for the team. And you're the first place in the entire region in the standings,
which is always nice anyway. Even if there wasn't a final, even if there weren't any playoffs, no wild cards, just being #1 in your region is nice.
Both players summoning their inner beast and everything they can focus into the game. KK has logged in to his device. He's synchronized right now.
Mental link initiated.
And Mikambuya, he channeled his own beast. Can he do it and finish the match for the team? Let's get into the final game of set 2.
All right, so here we go. KK in blue for GameWith at the bottom. Mikambuya in red at the top. Who's gonna take this one?
A log band. So, we've seen some great use of the bar barrel by Mikambuya in game 2.
Furnace is there. It's going to be heavily damaged here by the Magic Archer, if not almost taken out, and the Flying Machine will finish that job very, very quickly there. Will it get damage done to the tower? No, the guards come down to stop that from happening.
You cannot get that Flying Machine in directly to the tower. It's somewhat like a range Hog Rider, I would say, in the air, because it does a lot of damage when it comes down.
It is a Flying Musketeer. Basically, it's a Flying Musketeer. Nothing can... It's so good. We see the Royal Ghost come down. 1901 on that tower, and the battle ram here going for that furnace.
Yeah. Excuse us for the disturbance in the stream, as pointed out by production on the bottom right there. But still, the game continues. The bar barrel offensively used by Mikabuya this time, and the Royal Ghost connecting a few shots.
Yeah, and the Fire Spirits there taking out the Magic Archer. Look at that, nothing damaged by Mikamboya here. Sorry, nothing damaged for Mikamboya. 2534 on both towers.
Are you sure?
I'm getting confused here. I'm God. 1469 remains on KK's tower, and we see the flying machine played at the back for Mikamboya.
Yeah, KK's in trouble. The moment you see Barbaro just going straight through the bridge, you know he's in trouble.
It's the Magic Archer to take out that Fire Spirit before he can do anything. The Magic Archer takes out the Mega Minion.
Placed all the way back so he can get the Mega Minion plus the Furnace later on.
The Battle Ram coming through. Is he going to be able to get anything done?
Wizard actually saves that Magic Archer, so a lot more effective in this case. Getting to the Furnace now.
Yeah, even with the Fire Spirit summon, it's still alive. The Bar Barrel eventually takes him out.
He has to use another one now. The Flying Machine's free. So Mikambuya he's trying to counter and do a lot more every single time.
Ewiz there saves the day again. The Flying Machine was ready for that attack. The Fire Spirits taking out the Battle Ram as two Barbs are going to start running towards that Furnace and get taken out by the Fire Spirits that come out of that.
That was some great defense by KK, but still he takes a lot of damage. Even plus the Fireball, because Mikambuya, he knew that it was above in the elixirs, but there's the pocket Royal Ghost and the P.E.K.K.A. Mikambuya's ready for everything.
Yeah, the Royal Giant from KK held right until the end, but the P.E.K.K.A. is there from Mikambuya and shuts it down almost instantly. My goodness, Mikambuya knew what was happening in this game. The Flying Machine and P.E.K.K.A. now charging down that left, and the Battle Ram charging down the right. The Furnace is in the middle.
Gets the charge.
Gets the charge. The P.E.K.K.A. will shut it down instantly. A Bar Barrel on the defense here. And then an offensive Bar Barrel from Mikambuya. Nothing is getting through to KK's tower right at this moment.
Yeah, he had a lot of single target damage, so with the guard, there was just enough defense. And KK needs to start putting the damage directly onto the tower. Still about 1700 away, 2 minutes 30. But it seems like Mikambuya, he wants to create something of his own right now.
Flying Machine played there will start taking out that Furnace, and it's pretty safe away from the tower, but the Mega Minion there is going to knock it down. The P.E.K.K.A. walks towards the Furnace. There is a Royal Ghost behind. Does take splash damage from the Fire Spirits as the Magic Archer is trying its hardest to defend here. And now, finally, KK breaks through. But it's taken out instantly by the tower.
Yeah, that Magic Archer didn't really do too much, but that's just enough for Mikambuya to put out another set of damage. There's that Royal Giant. Once again answered by the P.E.K.K.A. A little harder with the E-Wizard on the back.
Yep, it will go down, but it does do damage. 1193 on Mikambuya's top right-hand tower.
2 hits.
Is it slowly slipping away from Mikambuya here?
We'll see, as the Barbaro, I think they matter a lot clearing those guards. But it doesn't really go through, and the Royal Giant is actually getting through a few shots every time.
Yeah, it's going to get
no
a few
P.E.K.K.A.
shots
this time.
now. No P.E.K.K.A. to defend. How much is it going to do? The Battle Ram.
He wants to race with this, but there's a Furnace.
Whoa, 177 remain.
And that's it with the Lightning. KK takes game number 3. We are going to that King of the Hill for the second time, Simon. And that was some incredible 1v1 from these two players.
Back and forth. For KK there, it looks so bad. He had no damage done for most of that game. Mikambuya was perfectly in control. And then slowly but surely, he just kind of lost his grip on the game. KK started to come back, started to push forward, getting damage done, and that was it.
Yeah, that's what happens. I think Mikambuya with the last fireball thrown, hitting the Furnace and the tower, that was not the most greediest move, but he had the lead slightly, but that's already 4 elixirs. That's pretty big. One away to put down, and the moment you put down with the Magic Archer Flying Machine, you don't have enough for your own P.E.K.K.A. And he was kind of caught because he was getting a little bit greedy, thinking that he can finish off with 3 more Fireball, but that didn't certainly happen. KK, what a player here.
Yeah, tried to push his advantage a little bit too hard, overextended, and that was it. What is interesting, though, is if Mikambuya actually held out for the draw on that one, he probably would have won because KK's towers were incredibly low.
And we're going straight to the King of the Hill. First one's up. Roll up Haran. from PONOS Sports and Amaterasu from GameWith. We have the bands Golem and Tornado Band. So, Tornado Band, log bait makes sense.
Yeah, so the Golem and the Tornado Band. Amaterasu, #1 up here. What are we going to see? Dark Goblin instantly answered by the Valkyrie from Amaterasu. And the Barb Barrel stuck in the middle to kind of make sure that Valkyrie never gets to the tower.
There's a Hog Rider with the Barbarian Hut.
From Amaterasu, yeah, but the Hog Rider gets through. The minions answer it pretty nicely. And a Princess, we haven't seen you in a long time, my darling.
Goblin Barrel getting few hits, down to 1907. But with this Princess, actually against what Amaterasu has, it's actually really good deck with the Hog Rider. As long as that Barbarian Hut gets destroyed very soon with the Princess,
I mean, look how
good
long,
to go.
Look how long that Princess has been alive. She's done so much damage. She took out the Goblin Gang. She took out a couple waves of Barbarians, and a Fireball comes down to connect onto the tower in the hut. No more spawns for it as the Dark Goblin places 1 dot on it and finishes it off.
Yeah, so Amaterasu needs that perfect placement of the hut, plus have a good read onto Water Pylon, which is quite easy, not too hard, because we are very used to this deck ever since the Rascals came in at the bait.
Yeah, Inferno Tower comes down, will take out the Barbarians next, and a Hog Rider this time from Roller Piran. Oh my goodness, and a barrel here coming through, does get a couple of stabs.
2 stabs. And do have the Hogs coming down with this quick push. And a Skeleton Army to buy some time. Okay, that's a good move, but that's not going to last too long.
But the Barb does connect, and the minions do get some damage. 1, 2, 3 to remain. Hog Rider charging down the right-hand side. He's going to get a few hits. Goblin Gang played perfectly to answer the Goblin Barrel, but oh my goodness, 716 remain. The Dark Goblin is just going to clean everything up here. Just 1 skeleton remains.
A log could have been really good for Amaterasu. Deleting the Goblins, pushing the Hog Rider back. But was not available at the time. He wants to use it to delete that Princess because Princess is getting too much value in this game.
Yeah, the Hog Rider there going straight for the Barb.
Fireball before... That was a Fireball before the barrel actually broke down.
Yep. I mean, he was playing, Roller Piran was playing that to get more damage onto the tower because he just needs to finish it up. Because it looks as though Amaterasu is slowly but surely breaking through. So Roller Piran is definitely on a timer here. He needs to get that 317 damage before Amaterasu can just get through. Fireball to answer the barrel. Perfect play from Amaterasu there.
Roller Piran has his own Fireball. That's going to put it to about 216, I believe. And a couple stabs from the Goblin should be just enough to finish the game. But there's the 3 Musketeer coming off for Amaterasu, putting everything into this attack right here, right now.
Yeah, the Skirmish buying time, slowing down the offense, but one of the Musketeers connects. Both of the Musketeers actually connect on that left-hand side. Oh my goodness, so much damage being done to Roller Piran's towers right now. Skirmish again played, but there's a Valkyrie in the back. That's going to clear that up very nicely. I mean, Roller Piran needs 317 damage, 2 Fireballs, but if he expends that much elixir on an offense, he's not going to be able to defend. The Valkyrie gets a spin on the tower. Fireball is there. 286 remains, but there are 2 Princesses. Hog Rider coming in. Is he going to get anything done? The barrel is there.
The barrel.
Missed the log.
No log. That's not in Fireball range, so he needs to do a little bit more.
2 more damage onto that tower will mean it will be able to be taken out by...
Double Princess on the left. It's actually chipping damage as well. What does Amaterasu do right now?
Fireball to defend and Fireball offensively from Amaterasu. 85 versus 218. The barrel comes in. He knows that it's already been spent. The Goblin Gang though. Oh,
but Princess onto the left. Locks down and does let's get the tower destroyed from 1600. It was not taken care of this entire time. And Roller Piran will bring down Amaterasu. What a game we had.
That is why you deal with princesses. They look small and cute, but my goodness, do they pack a punch. Woo.
Those arrows, super long range, outranges the tower. That's why Amaterasu was using the log to take care of her, because she was getting too much value, hitting those Valkyries, not Valkyries, the Barbarians coming out from the hut, making it very less effective. And the logs, when you don't have the logs against the barrel, you're in trouble.
Yeah, but this guy. Shun is up next. Rollerpron versus Shun. Just to clarify the lineups here, Amaterasu in first place for GameWith. Shun is going second, KK going third. For PONOS Sports, Rollerpron in that first place, Mikan Boya in the second place, and Reiki Jones being the anchor for PONOS here.
One man down for GameWith. And Shun is up on, and they still have KK, who won up against Mikan Boya just the set before. Every single game, it seems like it comes down to a very, very close game, less than few hundred left onto the HP.
I mean, that was a battle of who could find a spell first, isn't it? And I mean, it came down to it that a spell wasn't even needed. The two princesses just took out that tower.
Yeah, eventually Amaterasu ran out of spells to actually use on one side. That's the power of Princess in that bait deck, basically. And it's just what it is when you just have a log. Sometimes you don't have enough for everything. And even the Hog Rider added on to that. That was a big one.
Rollerpron has such a good record right now. In normal 1v1, in best of threes, he's beaten Dani, Sado, One Crown, and SB. In King of the Hill, he has lost to Expo Master, but beat Lampo and Dios Stitch. Shun, on the other hand, is not having a good time in best of threes. He lost 2-0 to Benza Riddell, and 1-2 to Master Hong. And in King of the Hills, he lost to Big Daddy, beats Thunder and Beaver from Sandbox, beat TNT, but then lost to One Crown.
So he has certainly beat a lot of big names, but we'll get to the game. The second one of Rollerpron, he already got a win for the team. Shun, he's here to stop it. Can he do it? Lots of pressure for GameWith especially.
Yeah, Shun now is tasked with stopping PONOS Sports from running away with Clash Royale League Asia Japan, as the E-Wiz and the Royal Ghost will meet somewhere in the middle.
Alright, Flying Machine will take care of the E-Wizard. Response.
Yeah, the minions there will take it down. And a Magic Archer from Shun. Nice play. But this Magic Archer is going to find it hard to get to the tower. The Bandit distracting her. And the barrel, was it enough? No. I think the charge damage got dumped to the Magic Archer.
Yeah, and then the hit got onto the Barbarian, so they both stay alive. So the Miner has to come in as a defensive tool here. But another popular deck. Shun here with the Magic Archer, Barbarian Hut. Quite strong after 2 minutes.
Yeah, once it gets to that double elixir time, the Shun's deck really does start to take off, and a cannon card played in the back. Oh, Mega Knight, hello. That will answer a lot of the problems that Shun's deck can throw out here.
So Shun, he really needs to find some angle from the Magic Archer. Unless that happens, it seems like the Mega Knight will be answering a lot of the things that Shun wants to do here. Bandit just body blocking.
The minions take out the Flying Machine before it can lock on the tower. Will the Bandit get the charge through? No, the Barb Barrel is there. Does enough damage to take her out. And that one Barb is going to be taken out by the Princess Tower of Rollerpron.
Easy, but not too much damage taken for both players as we're looking into the cycles. Now the double elixirs.
Starts off straight away with Shun throwing down that Barbarian Hut. And the Inferno Dragon is there, as well as an E-Wiz for Rollerpron. The Flying Machine played at the back for Shun. That's going to team up with the 2 spawn from the Barbarian Hunt, and the Magic Archer from the side is going to get some work done, but the Miner will start to answer that question right there.
As if you don't take care of those Magic Archers, just like the Princess will receive from the last game, you need to take care of those before it puts you into trouble. So a lot of trades in the middle, having the minion, cannon card, the Flying Machine. Looks like they have to drop one more. Yeah, break that cannon card.
You cannot let a cannon card reach your tower because it does so much damage. Flying Machine in the back is taken out by that poison that's down there, and the Mega Knight is going to go down to the bats and the Princess Tower damage. The Inferno Dragon is going to go down to the bats and the Flying Machine damage. And now there's quite a bit here pushing through. The cannon card is going to try and sneak through into range. Doesn't get there. The E-Wiz resets everything. The Miner tried to take it out, but now he does get the angle through the tower. 3 hits that time from the Magic Archer onto the tower. 2-0-8-7 on Rollerpron's tower.
Yeah, this is the scary thing about this deck. It starts to push, and once you start to push, you start to lose. the Royale Paron, yes, has to find something else, as the Mega Knight will certainly help, but he has to make this own attack work against the Barbarian Hunt.
Good Fireball taking out the air support for that Mega Knight. The Mega Knight's going to charge onto the Barbarian Hunt. Nope, it's going to charge onto a cannon cart, and it dies actually. Trying to make sure that cannon doesn't get anywhere near the tower. The Bandit comes down, we'll take that out. The Barbs as well will go down. The Royal Ghost is there. We'll take out the Bandit.
Yeah, a little better placement of the U-Wizard actually going all the way to the back. Seems like this one needs to be defended, but U-Wizard just gone instantly. Magic Archer trying to find angles, but the Flying Machine is still alive as well.
Yeah, and now it starts to
Connects
connect.
the tower.
And the Magic Archer got a couple connections there too, through the Mega Knight. 850 remaining. Shun is slowly starting to eke out the advantage here.
And Poison catching a lot, but still not as much as what Flying Machine and the Magic Archer just did right now.
Yeah, and it got another shot. That Flying Machine was so low. You cannot allow it to connect to the tower. It does so much damage. And the Magic Archer's looking for another angle. Will the Inferno Dragon manage to fly into it? Just shy. Just shy,
and Bandit Mega Knight actually pushes Magic Archer out of the range. Miner now coming all the way into the back, hitting the tower. But still the Barbarians marching towards the tower.
With the Flying Machine in the air, the E-Wiz does go down almost instantly to the bar barrel. And the Bandit is going down. The cannon cart is very close. The Magic Archer trying to get that angle was a little bit too far away. The cannon cart changes into the cannon. Just
the pressure is
on.
Not too much elixirs to defend, but nice placement actually. Dropping down
at the E-Wiz. Yeah, beautiful play. But the Bats are going to take out the Inferno Dragon. And he does have enough for the Mega Knight, but after that, he's going to be very short on elixir. The Flying Machine, plus the cannon cart, plus the Royal Ghost, plus the Magic Archer, who did get a couple of hits there onto the tower. Will he be able to finish this? It's looking bad. The Bandit just soaking up a little bit of damage, so the Royal Ghost does get one hit. There's the Fireball. Shun taking game number 2. Royale Paron is out of there.
He's taken out. And with the pressure, it starts to build up. And the moment you say, oh, this is pretty hard to defend against, it seems like I'm making no push. The moment you cannot make any push, any damage, because you literally cannot use a single elixir with that miner. And that moment you threw down that miner, that's exactly when he started to lose, because he has to spend all that elixir against the attack. The Barbarians come down all the time.
Well, Shun is such a good player for GameWith. He was probably their standout player in Season 1. Season 2, he's had a bit of a mixed run. But this guy, who is up for PONOS Sports now, Mikamboya.
The old rivals.
This is the superstar pairing that from Season 1. Sure, KK in Season 2 has kind of outshone Shun. But Shun, he's still really good.
He was still the star of the team. Still is the star of the team if he can actually beat Mikamboya and bring his team to a 2-1. We've seen what Mikamboya could do, but he did drop his set against KK. Very close all 3 games. But when it comes down to King of the Hill, this guy is a king himself.
Yeah, he is. There's a reason why you want Mikamboya in any Clash Royale team. It's just because he is so ridiculously solid. If you were going to make a best team out of Clash Royale League Asia, first player you would pick. That's why you're supposed to say Mikamboya.
Yes, I know Mikamboya. I am going down the list and choosing my first. Mikamboya, TNT. I would actually put KK from what we have just seen today, and maybe myself.
You would not fit on that team.
Put
yourself over Master Hung. Put yourself.
You can be in the roster too, Simon, but we're going to game 3. And if Mikamboya beats Shun, only KK remains. We may have a rematch of set number 2, but let's go in.
Yeah, so Mikamboya versus Shun here. Who is going to take this one? Mikamboya perfectly composed, moving his eyebrows all around. In the red at the top of the screen. Shun almost stone-faced in blue at the bottom.
Yep.
I really want to play poker with Mikamboya. He does not have a poker face.
I know. But he's got that eyebrows and the jacket powering him up all the time.
Bar barrel taken out by the guards, and we see the furnace there.
Fire spirits, pretty good
taken
against
out.
guards.
Fire spirits are just pretty good in general. We see the tombstone come down from Mikamboya and a Royal Giant and Lava Hound from Mikamboya. Is he going to have anything that can deal enough damage to take out that Royal Giant before it does work on the tower?
Does he have an Inferno Dragon? With the lava, it seems likely that he would have some pairing like that.
Yep.
But nothing dropped yet.
There's the Baby Dragon.
It's not the best against the Royal Giant.
Fireball as well, but it just goes down to the skeletons. And now the Baby Dragon pushes forward, takes out the Mega Minion. The skeletons distract the Fire Spirits there. And look at that, so much damage getting done. 2-1, oh my goodness, that Baby Dragon has so much HP remaining. It's getting work done on the tower. Even these Fire Spirits, just not enough to take it out, but with the Princess Tower helping out, one Fire Spirit decides to just walk away.
The Furnace actually getting the Fire Spirits away, not hitting the skeletons, because the push was coming in the air from the right. That was a big help. As you mentioned, the skeletons did most of the damage to the Royal Giant.
And that's probably what Mikamboya is hoping for again, but the Fire Spirits now take out those remaining skeletons, and the Lava Hound is flying down the lane as a Royal Giant walks in, and there's
yes, the Inferno Dragon.
And the Lava Hound will take out all the Fire Spirits from that furnace.
And
just going to absorb those hits, and a Miner in the back. The Miner unattended, not right now. The guards are there. Lightning comes down from Shun, taking out the Lava Hound. But still, the Baby Dragon plus the pups is still alive. The E-Wiz is going to go down to a Fireball. And now that Baby Dragon has its sights set on the tower. Will the Inferno Dragon do it? No, the Inferno Dragon goes for the Furnace. With the Fire Spirit, kills it off.
Inferno Dragon is actually pretty effective against the Royal Giant, of course. But Shun has Electro Wizard and also this Lightning. And
goes for the left-hand side. Shun deciding the right side is a bit too much to handle. Goes down that left. Will they be able to defend? The guards are there. So are the skeletons. So is the Baby Dragon. That Royal Giant effectively shut down here.
Fireball is so beautiful in there. And the left tower is getting damaged also at the same time as the Miner is hitting the right.
Which tower is going to go down first? 95 remain.
The right tower. I'm betting a lot onto the right bottom tower. There will be a Fireball very soon, and that will be game.
Mikamboya. Calm yourself, lad. Calm yourself. That was incredible. Shun taken out. It's been back and forth between these two teams. One win each. One win like that. Mikamboya taking out Shun.
He's scary. Look at his eyes.
I just love the way he stands on the podium. Like, he's always just kind of like, you know, giving one of those I'm gonna have you kind of back of the head kind of grabs to the phone. Look,
you dare try Royal Giant against me. I've got all the things.
You are just mere mortals. I am a god among men. That's probably what Mikamboya tells himself.
Yeah, and
anyway.
the fact that when Shun actually made the decision to go left, Mikamboya was not even surprised. He actually defended well and made that into a better attack.
Well, he was never going to get anything done on the right side. Attack after attack after attack after attack, all shut down by Mikamboya. So Shun had to try something else and then just get shut down on that side. But KK, last man standing for GameWith, already beaten Mikamboya today. Can he do it again?
With a 2-1 and having the 100% win rate and set scores of 1-1 as we can see on that right. King of the Hill 5-2. That's game score, not set. But we have the final one from GameWith. KK needs to win twice in a row in order to win this match. There's Reiki Jones waiting for PONOS. But can he do it again against Mikamboya? That's the question.
If he does, Reiki Jones is still a great King of the Hill player.
I do agree on that.
He all-killed Brent Esports. Mikamboya has all-killed Chaos Theory. I mean, that's a beautiful last two people to have in your King of the Hill, isn't it?
Yes. With those bans, let's go into what is possibly the last game. Mikamboya. If he takes the win, that's a win for PONOS, securing themselves in the first place of Japan.
Quickly talk about both these teams' history. PONOS Sports and GameWith were 1 and 2 for last season, Clash Royale Season 1. GameWith instantly go to the final. PONOS Sports had to go through the wildcards. Then PONOS Sports go through the wildcards, get to the final, but that Magic Archer actually gets a couple of hits on the tower with the mini P.E.K.K.A. Oh, it's getting damage to the tombstones there.
Early Hogs, Ollie Log to actually lead those skeletons. Hogs getting few hits. So that's enough scratches, I would say, for KK.
Yep. And Hunter's going to charge forward. Anyway, back to the story. PONOS Sports took the final from GameWith in very, very convincing fashion. Season 2 starts up. GameWith beat PONOS Sports. They get revenge for that final.
But in terms of standings, PONOS still stands on top.
Yeah.
So GameWith, they need to come back and win this one. That's what matters the most in the final few weeks.
The Royal Ghost there, only getting one of the goblins from that slice. It does take quite a bit of damage. 1684 on Mikamboya's tower. 3 Musketeers summoned in the middle. And the mini P.E.K.K.A. will take out that Royal Ghost.
And we will only have an easy guess on the final card for Mikamboya. And he might just have the same deck and with his own Hogs to respond. But first KK's Hog going towards the tombstone, but Hunter, a nice response against it.
Hunter's so good at just taking down anything that stands in front of it. Seriously, why do units keep trying to stand in front of the Hunter? They just get mowed down by the shotgun.
No, Ice Golem's not smart enough to attack all the units. There's the final card, the Hogs.
And a Log with a Fireball, just pushing them back. Goblins will finish it up, no damage.
After looking at the Log, he stopped and waited for that moment. Right after the Log, the Goblins. Predictive Log didn't really work for Mikamboya.
Archer gets one hit onto the tower through the Royal Ghost. And the Hunter is protecting him. The Hunter trying to get through, but the Ice Golem will protect the Magic Archer. And now Mikamboya splits his Hogs 2 and 2. Gets a little bit of damage on the right. More damage on that left-hand side.
But KK is concerned about the right so much more compared to the left one. And having that Magic Archer right in the middle will take care of a lot. But the Hunter, well, arrows versus bullets, you know what's going to happen.
Bullets win every time. The Hogs also go down to the tombstone to distract. And it's very, very even right now.
Pretty even as KK, he's still got really fast cycle with those small goblins happening over again. There's a penetration, 2 shots.
3, 4. It keeps going. 4 hits there. Ooh, that's a lot of damage to take. Royal Hogs come in. Do we have the answer? The Hunter is there. Boom. Down goes one. The Log comes in. 7, 8, 5 remaining. That Hunter hero just by being in the wrong position. Oh.
And the attack from the left is actually quite huge. And the Hogs right after the Musketeer. Seems like that can actually be game. Goblin Gang dropped, but the Hogs are going straight with the poison. That's going to be game. Mikamboya will take the 4th game and the win for PONOS Sports. They're going to secure themselves in the first place of Japan after 9 weeks of play.
Yeah, that is Mikamboya and PONOS Sports sitting high on top of the Japanese league. And they made that look difficult. They actually played incredibly well. GameWith tonight looked amazing. PONOS Sports, just that little bit better.
Yeah, beyond amazing, I would say. Mikamboya, after dropping that set, he was in the rage mode. That you don't wanna touch him as he's the final boss, and he has certainly made it back against KK, against Shun, both the rivals against in the same region, and Mikamboya, he has done it. And Reggie Jones enjoyed his time back there.
Yeah, he didn't have to do anything. He was in the 2v2, and then nothing else. Didn't have to play in the King of the Hill.
Yeah, seems like we're jumping into the interview very soon. Let's get to hear from the man, Mikamboya.
How do you feel right now? Well, we added another win, so I'm very happy.
1位通過確定になりました。そして、セット2、今回、1-1の登場は久しぶりということになります。
それなんですけども、
結構相手予想してないかなと思ってたんですけど、自分のプレーが思ったよりも良くなくて、負けてしまいました。
そしてその後、セット3では2番手で登場しました。そしてもう一回 KK 選手と試合でしたけども、気持ちいかがでした？
ここでもうやり返したろって思ってました。
結構攻撃苦しい時もあったじゃないですか。
結構ありました。
かなり相手のマジックアーチャーのうまさもありましたけども、KK 選手を三河村選手はどう捉えてますか？
やっぱり刺すとこが分かってるなっていう、ここが攻めれば通るなっていうのをすごい理解してる選手だと思います。
I'm very aware of the Magic Archer's placement, so I was able to defend it very well today.
そうですね、まず予想もしてないようなバンとデッキを用意して、そしてもうバンから組み合わせようと思ったんですけども、自分もなかなかなんだろう、その慣れてないバンだったので、
And it was an unexpected ban. I was not very used to it, so it was difficult
まだね、こ
today.
うプレーオフまで、他の試合も残っておりますが、
Until
次
playoff,
の
you
試
have
合に
many
向け
games
て、
left.
あちらのカメラにですね、意気込みをお願いしたいと思います。
Anything
この
you're
後の
looking
試合も
forward
全部
to?
勝ちます。よろしくお願いします。
I'm going to win all the games moving forward. Thank you.
さあということで、続いてはマッチ3。
Oh, that's big words coming down from the big man with the jacket. I wonder if ever going to be taken off from his shoulders.
Now he sleeps in it. That is like stuck to his skin. He actually has no skin. He just has the PONOS sports jersey. That's all he has. Right now he's topless, but you don't know it because it looks like clothes.
Okay. Thanks for
And
the
I can't believe we still have one more match tonight, and it's going to be another killer game. GameWith versus Fav Gaming.
Matters a lot in terms of the second place, and that's gonna come up right up very soon. With that music cue, we're about to jump into the commercials, but we still have one more best of 3 coming up. 3 sets between GameWith and Fav Gaming. We will be right back. Welcome back to CRL Asia. We're here for another action. The final action of tonight, match number 3 between GameWith and Fav. And let's just continue that story because we've got PONOS not out of the way, but placed themselves all the way at the top. But who's going to be at the bottom?
At the bottom? You mean who's going to be
below
second?
them? Yes.
Yeah, who's going to be right below them? This game means so much to both of these teams. Whoever wins this will be in second place overnight, I believe.
Oh, I believe so. Unless something crazy happens, because GameWith, they have dropped their important match, but this one actually matters a lot for them.
Yeah, KK and Shun will be in the 2v2 spot. Zeros will be in second, and Yuihiro will be that 4th player for GameWith. KK and Shun, they've got to be feeling rough after coming off that loss with PONOS Sports.
And thumbs up, unlike them, where they always loot. When Amataratsu's in there, but he's not there.
Maybe that's why they lost. We haven't seen the salutes.
That's the curse.
Oh my goodness. All right, Raiden Yakatori once again in that 2v2
Oh, Kensumeshi is back?
And Kensumeshi is in our 1v1 match today, and Dani rounds out No Oz, who already all-killed DetonatioN Gaming today. He's going to be taking a break as Kensameshi steps in for him.
Yes, he has been charging in the back, but we have the solid duo again, Rad and Yakitori for this team. When GameWith actually changed their duo this time. Noah Materatsu, KK Shun, the 1v1 masters, paired up together.
Yeah, we see NATO once again completely banned out by GameWith. They just do not like that card.
I think it's if you just have one ban, a solid ban happening all the time that works best against all teams, just do it so you can practice on the least amount of decks. I think that can actually help when you're practicing.
Yeah, we see the Miner banned out by Rad and Yakitori, and Royal Hogs in that 1v1 banned out by Kensameshi. The Miner getting banned with the Tornado. What are we expecting to see? Do you think we'll see the Royal Giant Skeleton decks, or are we going to see Lava Hound, Golem?
Sometimes GameWith tries some, well, not in the recent few weeks, but in the early part of Season 2, we've seen some crazy variations with the Lava and Clone actually popping up from time to time, too often. And to say from time to time, at the early weeks, I would say until week 4, and then ever since the Royal Giant and the Skeleton is popping up everywhere. That actually was removed right after. But it is possible that we see it back-to-back because when we go back to that matches within the region, they always seem to go back in meta.
Yeah, I love that clone deck. Like, it's just insane.
How about double mirror Goblin Barrel with the clone?
Hey, that is the most OP strat. And let's never talk about that.
We've seen that in the
again.
finals.
We did. We saw PONOS Sports warming up at the beginning with the double barrel mirror.
Oh, there's a barrel now.
Yeah, but there's no clone. There's no mirror. It wasn't quick enough. But the Royal Giant Skeleton push is coming through. We do see the Princess from GameWith.
And the Prince to answer response. And even the mini P.E.K.K.A right in the back. So that's at least a little bit less damage taken from the Royal Giant.
Prince goes down to the death damage and the log in against the barrel there. And that Princess slowly but surely takes out the Mega Minion.
Usually you do want to have the Princess onto the other side, forcing out a log, but this time they had to drop it in hot.
Look at that, letting the Royal Giant push through, not having him kind of body check with the Giant Skeleton. Is that a mistake? Maybe. That bomb is going to get so much value.
Haha! Clears up most of the thing.
And they play a Princess at the bridge.
Okay, so they want to chip damage actually. That was 2 shots. I think that was worth it almost. Well, they want to have so many spells removed from the game and activate the King Tower. Nice.
Giant snowball there. That's so difficult to get right.
It is actually very difficult. The timing has to be perfect.
And you have to, it's a 1 or 2 square kind of placement too. So good. The Royal Giant is going to get through to the tower. It does get 1 shot before it goes down. And the Giant Skeleton goes down. It's going to clear out the Prince once again. And the log instantly taking out the barrel does also connect with the Dark Goblin.
They're pretty happy about that, as you can see on the left side. Now, KK, they have chip damage from the Princess even onto the right, but they may be regretting that because they could have done some chip damage onto the left instead when the King Tower is activated now.
The bats above are going to take out the Rascal Girls, then the Dark Goblin. And the Princess is going to finish off those. But that Giant Skeleton is slowly charging down onto this tower.
That big bomb on the left hand. Princess getting hit by it, not too much.
Okay, so the barrel comes through. Snowball again, pushing everything out the way. The Inferno Dragon onto the Giant Skeleton here. The Royal Giant behind. That's going to give him a bit of breathing room here. Will that bomb? The bomb actually pushed the Royal Giant around, making it so that it wasn't in range of the bomb tower. Beautiful, happy little accident there by Fav Gaming.
Nice log to push everything back. Prince already onto the range. The Dark Goblin doing some work. Mega Minion nicely placed to take out all the damage from the backside.
Here we see the Royal Giant Skeleton again, slowly coming through. There's the Snowball taking out all the bats. The Inferno Dragon is locked onto that Giant Skeleton. He's not going to get as much value with the bomb this time. The Mega Minion trying to take out the Inferno Dragon. Giant Snowball again taking out the barrel. And this Princess making her way to the tower. There's the Prince as well. The Giant Skeleton. Royal Giant again at the bridge. They reload this push so quickly. The Giant Skeleton, the Royal Giant does lock onto the bomb tower this time. Nothing to push him out of the range of it.
The Goblin Barrel actually gets a stab onto it. The log comes slightly too late as they have placed a little bit too many. I believe they were focused on their own attack, but great defense by Shun and KK there. Now they're putting some poison damage as well when they have extra elixir.
Took out the bats as well. The bats came down to try and defend against the mini P.E.K.K.A. and instantly taken out by that poison.
And they're putting a little bit too much now. The Giant Snowball, the guards, plus the mini P.E.K.K.A., everything used. Now Princess on to the left side. Finally, seems like they want to go back to their normal approaches here.
Yeah, the Inferno Dragon takes out the Royal Giant and a barrel again. Beautiful log. That's going to catch the Rascal Girls too. But that Rascal Boy is slowly creeping up on the tower with the poison underneath him. One hit. There's the barrel. Bats are there. The Royal Guards are there.
They have all the defense and a lot of units on top, so it's hard to see what's going on the ground, but great response. And Princess actually locked on to the left side, doing about 1,000 damage now by herself.
That sneaky little Princess on the left-hand side. The rocket
into the fireball range.
Oh no, that tower might go down. GameWith may just have this one. We're gonna have to wait. There's the poison. That's gonna be it for that tower. But that Princess on the left-hand side, all alone.
Eventually was going to finish that left tower as well, because Rad and Yakitori, they had a log, but it was always being used. I feel like KK Shun, they should have pushed this a little bit further earlier into the game onto the left side, and they could have built this pressure early on, which creates mistakes sometimes. And they finally did it at the end, which helped them a little bit, but not too much actually.
My. Watching GameWith and Fav Gaming is an absolute pleasure.
Yes.
That was incredible.
When you see that amount of units coming down across a bridge, it almost seems like cannot be stopped. But somehow, with those small units, the right spells, right placement of dropping down those goblin gangs, KK and Shun, same for Rad and Yakitori. They managed to do it somehow, and that's how how skilled they are against the miners, against the barrels. Some small scratches of late responses or elixirs. That's basically what they're fighting here.
Well, we almost had a repeat of the King of the Hill game with Roller Peron, where the Princess just takes the tower down by herself, left alone on one side.
I believe she did about 1,300 damage by the end.
This game?
Yes.
2,500, 700 remain, 1,800-ish.
Uh-huh.
That's a lot of damage for a Princess who does essentially nothing against the Crown Tower.
Yeah, because Rad and Yakitori, they literally did not have room to throw down anything else onto the other side. One more elixir, two more elixirs onto the other side. Could have been just game over onto the right side.
So Fav Gaming need to win this 2v2. They need to win game 2 and game 3.
That's why they called for a timeout here.
Just to calm down the nerves. Bring it back for them. They need to win this. If they win this, they do go second, because head-to-head, Fav Gaming would have beaten GameWith twice. So game 2, Shun and KK for GameWith in blue, Rad and Yakitori for red. For Fav Gaming, we're about to get into this one.
Fav Gaming with their victory. Beginning again seems like it's building up. Excitement levels building up for game 2. That's why we're stuck on this screen for now, but let's build up the hype. Simon and I, we're the best at that.
No, we're not. Don't say things like that. But anyway, Fav Gaming need to win this. That's all we need to say. GameWith need to win this. Both teams need to win. One of them is going to go home. One of them is going to be disappointed. It's coming down to the wire in the Japanese region.
We're going to be excited no matter what. Our Goblin not responded, 4 shots.
Oh, and a Golem. Golem has been quite slow in 2v2 lately.
So not used too much. And with that Giant Skeleton, there may just be enough defense, as they have Inferno Dragon as out there.
Yeah, the Inferno Dragon, the lightning comes down, does a lot of damage. And the Inferno Tower as well as an Inferno Dragon. All right, that's cool. Everything's going to go down to the death bomb with the Giant Skeleton now. Oof.
Hey, not too bad.
Essentially a great defense there by Fav Gaming. Can't ask for more than that.
Because they did more with a single Dark Goblin.
So we see a Baby Dragon played for GameWith at the back. Giant Skeleton, Royal Giant again for Fav Gaming here. Are they going to be able to take it? The bomb tower in the middle will slow that push down a lot, but it's still going to get maybe one hit. Oh, you see the Giant Skeleton just keeping the Royal Giant out of the way of the bomb tower. Oof. Wonderful, wonderful defense there.
So bomb tower actually took, not even taking the most shots.
Yeah, it's
still surviving after all that.
Yeah, the little skeleton sitting on top of his little wooden tower survives for a very long time. You see the Prince coming through. Doesn't get the charge, just out of range of the charge. The Royal Giant just gets to the tower. 1 hit, 2 hit, but then the Golem is just going to push him out of the way. 4 hits, 5 hits from a Royal Giant.
And the Golem is nowhere to be close. Locked down by 2 Infernos, lightning a little too late.
Yeah, that Golem is gone, but look at the Baby Dragon. The Baby Dragon's going to get onto the tower. Fireball comes in, but the Dark Goblin is going to slowly but surely take it out, and the Inferno Dragon, just a little bit of a charge.
Still did a lot of damage and forced out lots of spells from Rad and Yakitori. Even though we thought with the Golem breaking in the middle it was going to be close to no attack, it actually managed to do some damage into the tower. And the attack continues from Rad and Yakitori. A barrel!
Beautiful, that's going to be a very nice thing to throw in here.
Snaps.
So much is pulled into the middle with the Giant Skeleton and the Royal Giant that the barrel can easily sneak through uncontested. Ooh. Fireball comes in, ups down. Oh, the cannon card is just out of range.
Yes, it doesn't actually get hits onto the tower. It seemed almost too close.
Yeah, we had to count. We had to look at the tower then to see what was doing the damage, realizing it was the poison. Just out of range. Okay, Giant Skeleton, Royal Giant push again. Where is the bomb tower?
They need the bomb tower. Goblin is doing so much shit, then that's going to be a tower down. And clock. Time has run out. It's going to be a win for Rad and Yakitori with that sudden barrel appearing from nowhere. And the bomb tower, it's a good tool to remove those goblins, but once it's locked onto something else, well, those goblins are certainly doing the job of stabbing.
Is that the first time we've seen a barrel with that deck? I can't think of a time where we saw someone use a barrel with it.
There was plenty of minor ones, but the barrel, I think it was the first, actually.
It's a very interesting choice to throw the barrel over the top when everything is so concerned with the 2 tanks that are sitting in front, right? The Giant Skeleton and the Royal Giant. Throwing that barrel in the back is a really good decision.
Yeah, which did gigantic amount of damage. Even with that bomb tower, it's risky, and you need to time it. They waited for the right time. When they had some extra push going into the opponent's side, that's the exact time when you throw the barrel.
Cool. Good plays there. And we are about to get into game 3 between these 2 teams as they're just making the last few deck changes. So we're going to get into it very, very soon. GameWith in blue, Fav Gaming in red. Whoever wins this takes, I think... Wait, what?
And we skip. And we suddenly go back to the 1v1. So we'll have to see Pirmeki, Dani. We've seen this before. This is the replay of the first one. We can look at it again because it was a great one.
A couple of technical issues,
I believe.
right now.
Yeah. We know the results already. Yeah, we know the result already of this match, but we'll take a look again because Clash Royale action is always fun. I watch my replay.
All right, so the Inferno Dragon does take out the Mega. Who wins this one?
Well, I'm not going to spoil it.
No!
Everyone in the know that will... Everyone?
Everyone who was
watching
watching
the
earlier.
first match would know. And, of course...
Donnie wins. Yeah.
Well,
all right.
Well, that creates a weird situation where we're back on screen. But
yeah.
I know you guys love watching, but we love you guys too. Thanks for tuning in to Clash Royale and...
Massive love, you know?
Massive love, but
Massive
they really
love.
want a heart sign from the old guy.
The oldest guy here. Yeah, fine. Call me an old guy. We'll see what happens when we step outside later.
Oh, yes. We're
Okay,
going to have our own clash in real life.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Bit of a technical issue that we've had right now, but we're going to go back into this 2v2.
It seems like we are going to take some time because we received the feed from Japan, which is pre-recorded right before, and that's actually what we have. That's why it seems like the edit was actually that they had a mistake, a little bit of a mistake of editing in the between there. So it seems like that's going to take some time.
Yep.
So
who do you think is going to take this then? KK or Shun? KK and Shun or Radin Yakitori? Game 1, KK and Shun definitely was stronger.
Yes, I think so. But Radin Yakitori with those barrel play with the minor ban, and all KK and Shun needs, they need extra log instead of to some other. If they can find space for those cards, and against the barrel, they should be fine. Sometimes guards or a few other spells actually do the job.
Snowball, I think.
Yeah, Snowball could activate the King Tower as well. It's hard, but they can manage to pull it off as well.
Well, I mean, who was it who did? It was Fav Gaming that did that, right? With the Snowball, or was that in PONOS' games? We saw someone do it earlier, right?
Yes. It happened earlier. I don't exactly recall that was the first one. I don't think it was the first one. I think it was the PONOS one that we had before with the. You're talking about the right top tower that activated the.
Yeah.
Yes.
Push with a giant snowball into the tower.
You can actually practice that if you have a team, if you have a friend.
I have no friends.
But I have this guy, so.
Yeah. Well, you were practicing against me
stuck
earlier with a really weird deck.
And that was supposed to be the rage mode deck.
Oh, look, I found this really interesting deck. Let's try it out. No, it was rage mode. But that happens, you know. Sometimes you load up the wrong decks. We saw yesterday, actually, one of the Korean teams played a rage mode deck in competitive. There was the bowler, the spawners, and we were sitting there like, has he just, loaded up the wrong deck today? Like, it looked really weird, and I think he still got the victory.
Well, we'll see. Because 2v2 comes down to the final one. Fab, they have already used the timeout. I think that was a timeout right in the middle. Tornado minor ban. Another barrel play. I don't think so. Because we've seen what happens when they use the exact same strategy once over again. Similar to 2v2 and 1v1 as well. So that's gonna actually bring up the difference in the final game. We're tied 1v1 right now before we go into game number 3. But right now they're talking with the feed from the Japanese side for the feedback. But seems like we're going to take a short break. We'll be back after a commercial break very soon. So we'll see you guys very soon. welcome back to Clash Royale League Asia, and we have stopped before we got into game number 3. We had some technical issues getting the feed there, and it's 1-1 tied between the teams of GameWith, FAV Gaming. Still on to that 2v2. We were surprised with that 1v1.
Yeah, I just throw it out there. Like, took us a little while to understand what was going on, but this 2v2 is about to get underway. Finally, game 3 between Rad and Yakitori of FAV Gaming and Shun and KK of GameWith, and we see once again FAV Gaming bringing the Giant Skeleton Royal Giant.
And the same bomb power as a response. Seems like both teams have the same exact deck, which means is that going to be barrel or not? I think that's the key again. That happened in game 2. 1 shot.
Yeah, the Ice Wiz trying his hardest to keep him slowed down. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Royal Giant this time from GameWith, and the Inferno Tower there is going to get taken out by the lightning. Is he going to be able to get any damage done to the tower? No.
Minipeka one more swing before it went down, so that was just enough for near perfect defense. So about even, I would say right now. But Shun and KK finally solidifies that Royal Giant is pretty strong in 2v2.
Yeah, there's the Giant Skeleton. Royal Giant played just behind it, and a Bowler. Now, Bowler will not push either of these units as they are too big. The Inferno Dragon is reset with that zap. 1 hit. It's going to get 2. Almost 3. The Giant Skeleton is going to go down in the middle of... No, he's getting 2. Ooh, is that close enough?
No, not close enough. That was almost too close enough, but just out of range.
Yeah, I think one more step would have put him in range. Very, very close. This time, GameWith playing the Royal Giant from right at the back, and we see those guards supporting him from behind. The Ice Wizard slowing everything down, and there is the bomb tower. That's going to slow down everything here. The Royal Giant is going down. Giant Skeleton is down as well. The guards are still there. They have their shield, so they're going to survive the explosion damage.
No damage taken from the other side from that right Giant attack. Best defense is best offense. That's what Rad and Yakitori is doing it right now with the Skeleton Barrel.
Yeah, the Mini P.E.K.K.A. is there as well. And the Mega Minion attacks the other Mega Minion. There's a lightning. The Royal Giant gets 1 hit, 2 hits. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. Is the Mini P.E.K.K.A. still alive? No, it was the guards that took him down. Wow, they took him down very, very quickly.
And the Skeleton just getting deleted by the Zap there. Trying to have surprise attack, but slows down and take out the bat with that Giant Snowball. And the Bomb Tower just in time.
Yeah, another Mini P.E.K.K.A. there to answer. If they could have played the Mini P.E.K.K.A. a little bit more behind the Royal Giant there, that probably would have been ideal. But they load up with their own attack. The Skelly Barrel. The Royal Giant, there's so much here. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. is going to go down, but no more damage done to the tower this time.
But right before that, they actually had Bowler doing few damage onto the right side, so that was okay. But how can they defend this one right now? Seems like the Bomb Tower was just back in the cycle.
Yeah, the Bomb Tower again going for that Royal Giant. The Giant Skeleton is there. The Bowler does manage to help clean it up, but it is going to go down to the bomb, and the Mega Minion is going to get a swipe off here.
Yeah, just 1 before it went down. Mini P.E.K.K.A. actually locking onto
the Giant Skeleton there, I think.
And Royal Giant takes the hit, but still...
But on the other side as well. Oh my goodness, are they going to trade? No! Time is over! Out of nowhere, GameWith take game 3 there.
With the push onto the right side. And they're going to be moving on because FAV Gaming needs to win right now. With those ceremonies, they're pretty happy about it with the surprise attack. And I actually thought Rad and Yakitori had a great chance, but it was slowed down really quickly.
Yeah, it was dangerous for GameWith, but their push on the other side just was unanswered by FAV Gaming. I think they got a bit maybe bloodlusted there. They were just looking for the kill. They were looking for that tower and didn't realize that they took critical damage on the other side.
It almost seemed like they had faith in their own push,
yeah.
which could have done without the slows in the middle and some distractions. They could have actually locked onto the tower a little earlier. The Royal Giant, of course, I'm talking about, and did enough damage. I believe it does about 250 damage every single time, which is just enough to take the tower down with just 2 or more shots there.
Yeah, I think if both towers went down at the same time, which is what it was looking like, actually, it looked as though both towers were going to go down identical time. That usually means we carry on into taking another tower. But we are about to get into this 1v1 between Zeros and Kentsumeshi. Now the ban cards, just to remind you, Zeros has banned out Tornado.
Yes.
Kentsumeshi has banned out the Royal Hogs.
So no tricky tricks with those hogs, but the regular, real Hog Rider may just come in all the time because Kentsumeshi has been using very low cycle decks, and Hog Rider was one of them for sure.
Yeah, so Fav Gaming need to win today for a chance to go second in the table.
And that's very hard for GameWith at Zeros. He actually has a really good win rate, especially on the King of the Hill. But I believe he was up against some weaker opponents, and the opponents actually, he had some really great counter decks prepared. So it didn't really show all the skills, but in terms of consistency level here, I think Kenzumeshi's got it. Zeros, he does panic from time to time, and suddenly just loses with a deck that he can actually take advantage of the opponent really hard.
Well, the last time these two met in the best of 3 was the last time GameWith and Fav Gaming met, and it was Zeros versus Kentsumeshi. And Kentsumeshi won 2-1. Will we have a repeat from earlier this season, or will Zeros be able to take the devil off his shoulder and break his curse and beat Kentsumeshi here? We're going to find out. Zeros in blue for GameWith, Kentsumeshi in red for Fav Gaming.
And we go in. This is the real 1v1. As GameWith, they are looking to escape away with the final win at the final match here. Of course, they have one more next week, but that won't really matter in terms of standings too much. So they need to bring their win tonight.
Well, I mean, next week's games can still decide everything, especially if, like, let's say Fav Gaming win tonight and lose next week. GameWith win next week and Fav Gaming lose. Like, you know, it is possible that they could trade places still next week. So next week there is still a lot to play for these teams.
Hunter versus Hunter. Who wins?
Hunter.
Oh, you're right.
Actually, the Princess Tower is not going to intervene either here. The Hog Rider on the right-hand side.
Just one.
Actually, nobody wins. Hunter versus Hunter, nobody wins. The Princess charging in, and the Ice Golem is there, pulling it away from the tower, starting the conga line. The Giant, the Royal Giant, and the Skeletons there are taking out the normal Giant and the Hunter as well, going to town. Beautiful log there.
Beautiful log, so it can actually do one more hit onto the Giant, not really doing too much, but the Miner connects. The Prince actually survives, and it's going to connect damage on
two hits from the Prince.
And the Fireball. See the elixir count on the Kentsumeshi right now on top of the screen. 8-2. For Zeros. And
that is an almost unassailable lead for Kentsumeshi right now.
With the Giant, they have the same elixirs.
Like, even if Kentsumeshi did no damage there, and it was just an elixir lead, you would favor someone with a 7 elixir lead at that point. Oh,
Hog Rider deck, you need to really keep in cycle and have near perfect defense. Really fast with low elixirs, but you cannot make any mistakes.
Well, the Hunter is one of those cards that can just keep generating value, but the Prince is going to charge in. Oh, the Hog Rider just comes in time. Prince doesn't know where he's going, goes back and forth, and the Hog Rider gets to the tower. He did get the charge after all, despite not knowing which way he was supposed to be going. MVP Prince right there.
And we found out Prince is pretty good at turning around back to back 180 degrees.
Yeah, Horse has a 0 turning circle. It just spins around. Anyway, Fireball comes in, separating the 3 Musketeers. They all have minimal HP. Miner as well. Now hitting the Royal Giant, but the Mega Minion above goes for the Ice Golem.
The Musketeer doesn't really do too much with that Fireball. Goes to minimum HP all the time. Gets taken out by the Princess and the charge. Take care of the Royal Ghost. So Zero's certainly in a big trouble.
Yeah, but he has kind of stabilized ever so slightly, but the damage is just there for Kentsumeshi. Kentsumeshi is going to slowly keep eking out damage. The Miner didn't get distracted by the Ice Golem, which is what he was looking for. We're going to have Hunter versus Hunter, but this time the Princess Tower is going to help to take him out in one shot.
Spray of bullets. Now this one has to be effective at least. But the Fireball, as long as he's got it, Zeros, he needs to have a near perfect defense. 360, not too much left on the tower.
The Hunter gets a couple of pellets
and
in
the
as the Miner. And that is it. Kensumeshi, I mean, he generated a huge elixir lead and just kept the barrel rolling downhill, kicking it around, took the win.
For Zeros, he had the Hug Rider cycle, really quick one to go through. But against the big ones like the Prince, taking down all the big units where Prince is supposed to be stopped by the skeletons all the time and taken away. Kensumeshi got so much value out of the Prince all the time, charging into the tower, surviving, getting few hits onto the left one initially as well. The Mega Minion even getting Fireball, that one Panic Fireball, because Zeros did not want to take any more damage. But that just put Kensumeshi into a further lead there.
Yeah, at that point, you just got to sacrifice the tower, haven't you? You can't hold it on. I mean, the Fireball there really did separate like Zeros and Kensumeshi way too much. But we are going to get into game 2 between GameWith Zeros and Fav Gaming's Kensumeshi.
Wonder which deck. Try to guess which deck I brought into game 2.
Well, I mean, Kensumeshi will literally play anything. Plays the 1.8 cycle deck. That's what he's playing right now. All right, we see the Miner and the Flying Machine taking it out. 2278 does get quite a bit of damage, actually. 300 damage done there.
And that's locks onto the tower.
Ooh!
Has to zap it to take a little less damage.
Yeah, you do not want the Flying Machine to be hitting your tower. It hits like an absolute truck. As the Royal Giants actually do start slicing at each other.
Royal Ghost.
The Royal Ghosts, sorry. Yeah. Royal Giants don't slice.
If they slice, that slice with 60% increased damage.
All right, we see the Barbarians.
See what happens there.
Go down. The Bandit is going to get the charge into the... Oh, the Barbarian from the Bar Barrel.
Nice trick there from Zeros.
All right, slowly but surely the damage is starting to pile up for both players. 206-2 on Zeros' tower. 2154 on Kensumeshi's. Royal Giants just chop away at each other as the Flying Machine does lock onto the tower again. Pushed away by the minions.
I believe 2 shots fired onto the tower. So minimal damage taken and getting trade each other. That's about the same damage, I would say. Only 50 away.
So the Bandit is going to charge into the Magic Archer, taking him out instantly. Will it get a charge into the tower? No, Ewiz is there to stop that. Ewiz is going to push into another Ewiz again. There we go. Ewiz takes out other Ewiz.
And then the Barbarian Barrel comes down with the Barbarian. And the Royal Ghost comes down from Kensumeshi once again. Is it going to be? Yes. We know the cycle so much.
Yeah, I just keep calling it. This time it looks like the Royal Giant, the Royal Ghosts. I keep saying Royal Giant. There's the battle ram again. Are we just watching a loop of the same 20 seconds of this battle?
Because Kensumeshi's got a pretty good defense. He wants to force out and get some. He wanted to get some value onto the Prince. Usually, the poison. Usually, what we see from the battle ram, it happens onto the other side all of a sudden, and then it charges into the tower. That's what you're looking for. But Zeros, for now, he's trying to have Kensumeshi just blocking one side.
He's eked out a very slight advantage, 200 HP difference between the two, as the Flying Machine comes in the back. Miner played right at the back again for Kensumeshi. That Flying Machine is going to sit inside the poison, and it is going to go down as the Bandit is going to charge into the battle ram. Ewiz is at the back to make sure nothing is getting done. The Royal Ghost is there. Poison as well for Zeros. What is going to happen? Is any more damage going to get done to the tower? That's the question.
Just the poison and not too much from the Magic Archer as well. The Barbarian Barrel to just take the Royal Ghost out. That's about it. Archer gets a pretty good angle. 2 hits.
3 hits. 4. Oh, the 4th one just going wide as the Bandit moved around. But now this is looking very, very bad for Kensumeshi. There's a lot of stuff here. We see the Royal Ghost. We see the Barbarians. The Miner goes out. Well held on by Kensumeshi, but he has taken a lot of damage at this point.
And he wants to connect a little more damage with the poison. The first one from Kensumeshi actually not catching everything hurt him a little bit because in this cheap, quick cycles, half a elixir lead can actually change things here. As the P.E.K.K.A drops in his face.
Almost got the charge on the battle ram there. The P.E.K.K.A is going to slow things down. And that is a huge tank going forward for Kensumeshi. And a P.E.K.K.A from Zeros. What is going to happen here? The bandit charges in. P.E.K.K.A is going to take out the P.E.K.K.A with the E-Wiz as well there. The minions from the top. Is this P.E.K.K.A going to get a hit? The miner is at the back. If it gets a hit, that's it. 767 is going to get it. Kensumeshi. Zeros just kind of lost his defensive composure as Kensumeshi takes game 2 and takes us to another King of the Hill.
The third King of the Hill in a row. And that's what we have here. Zeros, he had the P.E.K.K.A, but P.E.K.K.A against P.E.K.K.A with the help Electro Wizard.
And the bandit.
Yeah, it actually stops the attack. It's much slower. That's why the P.E.K.K.A, which was already damaged crossing the bridge, Kensumeshi's P.E.K.K.A was able to win Electro Wizard because of the flying, I believe, the minions on top. There was some flying units. That's why the Electro Wizard with the drop damage, he wanted to have some effective use, but it got deleted very soon.
Yeah, Kensumeshi kind of pulled that out of nowhere that time and did manage to take it, but we are about to find out who is going to be our King of the Hill order and what their bans are going to be. We see KK first, Yuhiro second, and then Shun as the anchor for GameWith.
And Kensumeshi, first one up for Fav Gaming. Danny, Rat to gather all things for the team. Yes. Thumbs up from both players, KK and Kensumeshi. They're up first. So far, both players pretty strong. KK was really strong. And especially against Mick and Booyah. Dropped his final game just in the last set.
Yeah, so we see the Tornado and the Lava Hound getting banned in the 1v1s. Again, GameWith just straight bans of Tornado. This Tornado banned 6 games in a row.
Just saying that with the Tornado ban, we're gonna have the highest chance of winning. And let's just remove that away from all of our games. We'll have the perfect decks that we can have. And you just have to think about the opponent's ban a little bit. That's at least a little less things to worry about.
Yeah, and panning out the Lava Hound. What does that say to you? Lava Hound balloon is completely shut off. Clearly, Fav Gaming do not want to face that right now, because especially when you have a 1 game to decide it, 1 set, 1 match. Lava Hound balloon freeze is one of those decks that can just surprise you out of nowhere.
Yeah, not just in competitive, in ladder grand challenges, surprise freeze, and actually there are a lot of decks right now, and kind of in the meta, I would actually say, with 3 spells, and those are the reasons why we actually see a lot of freeze, everything except for that healing.
Heal is the 1 card I have which has never been upgraded. Looking through my thing, it's like, oh, look at all these pretty levels, and there's like level 6.
Yeah, that's like Barbarians for me. It's on level 9.
Oh, well, at least you got it to tournament standard.
That didn't cost too much. I need to level up my base, that's what it is. See the piggy? Or is that a cow?
It's a pig. It's a hog. It's a royal hog.
Yes.
That royal hog has been teased in that image for many a year before it got added. But we are almost down to game 1 between GameWith's KK and Fav Gaming Kensumeshi in the King of the Hill. Set 3, game 1.
Let's do it with KK on the bottom blue. Kensumeshi on top red. Showing off lots of muscles. On camera or in game.
That seems
Elixir
to be...
collector.
I don't see that anymore. KK... Wow.
And Minor Poison. Perfect respawn, basically saying, I've got 2 methods to take out your Elixir Collector. I got the Minor and Poison.
But I'm only going to use 1 because I want to deal more damage to your tower. Yeah, good. All right, so the Mega Minion there is going to get taken down by the Princess Towers, taking it in turns to kind of shoot him off. And there is Fire Spirits. If they connect to the tower,
yeah, 2.
400 damage. Nothing to shy away from. especially in a game where inches matter, like in competitive, Fire Spirits kind of get the job done when it gets to the tower. Battle ram there. Giant in front.
Just to cancel the charge and take the hit, they want to remove the Giant and take away the damage from the Princess, Prince.
Hunter does get one volley off there onto KK's right-hand tower. Kensumeshi stone cold in his emotions here as Bandit again takes out, and there's the Fire Spirits.
Yeah, Log and Zap just used, so both Fire Spirits go in directly without anything else.
Fire Spirits are getting so much damage done, and for 2 Elixir.
Yeah, and KK has been using it perfectly after the use of the spell. See, Kensumeshi holding 3 spells, but he doesn't have one enough for those Fire Spirits.
There's too much to use it on. We see now again, Giant played at the back, and an Elixir Collector comes down from KK. We're going to see the Miner this time to try and take it out, or are we going to see the Poison?
Either one, I think. He does have it in his hand, for sure. There's that Lumberjack, the final card for KK.
Okay, so we see the Prince connects to the Ice Golem. The Battle Ram is there. The Barbarians pop out of that. And the Knight is trying to take... Oh, the Prince tries to take it out, but the Fire Spirits from behind just deal so much damage.
Yeah, and then Bandit blocks the Miner. And Miner does not get to hit the Collector. Second Collector comes down. KK certainly got this in his hand. No dash, at least, from Bandit.
Yeah, he's going to be generating a lot of Elixir here. As we see, once again, the Prince... Oh, the Barb
into the tower.
It connects the Bandit as well with the Rage. That Barbarian's going to get quite a few hits on the Rage.
He's pretty mad about it. 950. This Poison will actually get a lot of value for Kensumeshi as well. So I think we're just back in game with the rest of the Poison damage into the tower. But those Collectors are getting in the way.
Yeah, the Collectors are slowly but surely giving KK a massive advantage. He was already back up to full Elixir. Spence to back up to full Elixir again. I mean, he's going to be very happy about his position now. Summons the 3 Musketeers in the middle.
Way too huge on the left side.
Gets pushed away. The Fire Spirits again dealing a lot of damage. The Hunter almost dying. The Giant almost dying as well. As the Battle Ram on the left side connects to the tower. 947. Battle Ram on the right side now. Hunter trying to take it out. Does so pretty effectively. But so much damage is being done to both towers that Prince goes down. The Bandit connects.
With the
That's
Rage.
going to be it. Oh, KK takes out Kensumeshi. Game 1 of this King of the Hill.
That was a solid play. Elixir Collector, not just putting it down, but guarding it with your own unit. That was the Bandit. He knew that either Poison, if Poison is dropped, he can't really do a thing. But if the Miner comes straight, he kind of knows where it's going to be. And having that perfect prediction. Nicely done by KK. That, literally after that moment, got all the value out of the Collector, dropped the second one down. He could not lose from that moment.
Yeah, well, KK is a stone cold killer. He's already all-killed AHQ. Will he be able to all-kill Fav Gaming?
To be another question. The second one up. Danny from Fav Gaming. Kenzumeshi's gone. We have the same bands. Let's get right into the second game. Have that arena coming up soon.
And here we go. Donnie versus KK for Game 2 between GameWith and Fav Gaming inside this King of the Hill.
Not too much happening for now, but KK last game, as you mentioned already, Fire Spits were very effective.
They got so much
damage. Because it does area damage. It actually did damage when the Giant came down along with the Prince and Hunter. Connecting, I believe, 2 out of the 3 onto all 3 of them. So great defensive use. We don't really see Fire Spirits.
Fire Spirits are one of those super low-key cards that if you're good with it, they are amazing value. They can take out minion hordes. They can take out minions. They can take out, as we saw, Prince. They are just so good. They take out flying machines for 2 Elixir.
Yeah, but they're really vulnerable and difficult to use. At least you can place them. Not like the Furnace, you can't really control the Fire Spirits too much.
Respect Fireball onto that flying machine. And now the Hogs come out front, Danny. What does KK have here?
No tornado, no structure in the middle, and no flying machine to actually defend. So does get some scratches on both sides, a little more on the left.
Yeah, this is a golem deck from KK. We see Danny playing the Hog 3 Musketeers, or is it Hog?
I think we're about to see that very soon. That's why he's building up his elixirs here.
So we see the Golem slowly climbing its way, and there is the P.E.K.K.A. What's going to happen here?
Oh, Golem's going to be chopped in pieces of rocks, and soon it will be Golemites.
Yeah, well, the Flying Machine and the Mega Minion are essential to this deck. The Fireball comes out, taking out that Flying Machine. The Poison is there. That's going to slowly tick away at the E-Wiz and the P.E.K.K.A. But only a little bit of damage is being done.
P.E.K.K.A. will be gone very, very soon.
So the Royal Hogs come in and they go towards that Tombstone Blade right in the middle. Nice lock there, finishing off the P.E.K.K.A. and the Skeletons. We're going to try and finish out that Hog, but he's taking quite a bit of damage. 1634 remaining, and that Hog on the left side almost equaling it out.
And KK does not have the best tool to actually stop this from happening. Tombstone certainly not enough. He's got to have all the Skeletons basically stuck to those Hogs if he wants to defend it. And this time the Nightwind actually pairs up with the Golem. This is the push that KK wants to have.
Finally gets it in cycle, but the big issue is whenever you play Golem and your opponent plays P.E.K.K.A., you have an instant uphill fight to go through because the Golem finds it incredibly difficult to get to the tower.
And Batsword doing damage to the P.E.K.K.A., but the Magic Archer deletes them. So this Tombstone is not even too powerful. Flying Machine trying to do the work, but Fireball takes him out.
Will P.E.K.K.A. manage to get to the tower? The Royal Ghost is actually going to tank
even
for him.
The left side is getting too much damage.
I don't think KK is going to be able to do this. Regardless of how good he is, that tower is down to 311. There's a Fireball here as well. So all he needs is just a little bit of a sniff from these Royal Hogs.
Basically.
There it is.
There's one.
There's two.
And the Fireball comes down. Danny brings it back. KK goes down. We're back to 1-1. These two teams literally grabbing their last ropes. They got 2 left right now.
Yeah, well, at least KK got 1 win. That's all you need when you get that first victory. Each player now for GameWith just needs to win 1 time to close out this match against Fav Gaming. But Danny, he is capable of all-kills. He all-killed OGN Enters. He almost all-killed Kicks. And then he lost to Manong GP from Brand, which, you know, happens to nearly everybody.
Danny, known as one of the stronger players of 1v1 for Fav Gaming, comes out many, many times when Ken's mission is not there or when he's available as a 4th player. But if he can do it against KK, he did have a somewhat of a counter with the P.E.K.K.A. against that Golem, so that was a good news for him. He's up against Yuihiro, and this player has certainly got some ups and downs in his play.
Yeah, he's more of the 2v2 player right now. I mean, in a 2v2 with him and Amaterasu, they beat plenty of people. They've only lost 1 game together, and that's against Diostich and Martin. But in terms of 1v1, his stats are not the brightest of GameWith. But he is a wonderful middle player. You put him in between KK and Shun, who are incredible players. And if Yuihiro could just get 1 victory, he's putting your team at a huge advantage.
And he's got to do it right now because this stage is what it comes down to at the end when we are talking about the post-playoff right after a week now. So he has a lot of pressure. Let's see how he does under this amount of pressure, because he knows the importance of this match for sure. Same with Danny, but Danny seems to be doing all right for now.
Yeah, Danny is always cool as a cuke, but Yuihiro, he's a very emotional player. We've seen times where he looks completely destroyed at a loss. So it is kind of worrying that they are putting him in the middle. It's not that worrying, but Game 3 is about to start. Yuihiro for GameWith versus Danny Fav Gaming. And this match means so much to both of these teams.
All tied. 1-1 set score. 1-1 King of the Hill. Hero's got the pressure, but he can certainly overcome that with just one game. And with 2 games, he'll be a hero for the team.
Yeah, he does have to go through Danny and then Rad to try and get that done. But we see Royal Ghost and the Mega Minion.
Testing starting hands to check. Okay, and the Rascals all of a sudden. This may be the bait deck we have been seeing a lot. Still, there are lots of different decks with the Rascals. Still yet to see.
There's the Royal Hog. So you arc right. The Hunter, though, is going to rip through those Hogs. Hunting season is on, but still takes a lot of damage. Hunter does not do very quick damage. But we see this is the Splash Yard deck from Yuihiro, and poisons come out for both players. Oof, not what you want to see at Yuihiro's position.
Poison doing damage, but even the bowler catching few hits onto the tower. That's not a bad trade, I would say, for Yuihiro. He actually did more damage than, right now, down to 1639. He still got that graveyard, but real question is when Danny actually has the Rascals in his hand and the poison together to basically counter that graveyard, what else does he have?
Well, the Rascals have been played. They are out of cycle. The Tombstone comes down for Yuihiro, and that Ice Golem is just going to distract the Royal Ghost long enough for the Skeletons and the tower to take it down. And the bowler now on the right-hand side, not the left, and that is a go sign for Danny to throw out these Hogs. The Hogs come down, they take out instantly the Tombstone with the lock behind, and we see trying to get the angle with the Magic Archer, didn't quite get it that time, and Danny equals everything out here.
And Yuihiro defends it with the Hunter this time. He wants to set up his own attack. There becomes a graveyard, but bowler onto the right side, that will not be taken care of at all.
Yeah, the Hunter gets 2 shots against the P.E.K.K.A. But the Ice Golem actually got some damage into the tower too. 1097 on that tower. Oh my goodness, damage is getting done by Yuihiro's graveyards.
This one's with the bowler as a counter, but it's actually not lending too good of rocks right now, and the P.E.K.K.A.'s getting close to that tower.
The Hunter will take him out, and the Magic Archer again doesn't find the magic angle to get damage done to that tower. There is the graveyard, a defensive poison from Danny. He knows he's in trouble. The Hunter gets 1 volley off.
Actually, the bowler pushes the Ewis out of the way onto the other side, making the defense a little harder now.
Yeah, the bowler will go down, but done quite a bit of damage to this Royal Ghost. The Rascals get split. And what are we going to see? The Royal Ghost attacking the Ice Golem. Yuihiro has a bit of an advantage, decides to throw out the graveyard again. Poison comes down.
Connection can be game as he has the poison of himself. Yuihiro is very close.
Just needs 1 more hit, and the Magic Archer makes sure that doesn't happen. And the Royal Hogs now has Yuihiro overextended. Look at the bottom right tower just melting. 97.
One more election.
There it is.
There's the poison.
There's the poison.
And Danny, he has certainly won this game with that poison. Taking down the tower. 2 wins in a row. Yuihiro goes down, putting him into the match point of the entire game.
Yuihiro overextended with that last graveyard there. Tries to get the Ice Golem to tank up for it. Throws out the graveyard. Ice Golem goes down instantly, and the graveyard is left super exposed. It was very, very greedy there from Yuihiro.
It comes down to the final few seconds of the game where you make that decision that you think you can do it, but sometimes with that graveyard, it is just not possible if you have the perfect defense.
Yeah, we saw there Shun sitting in the shadows, composing himself, because he has a bit of a mountain to climb. He has to go through Danny. He has to go through Rad. And for him to get this done, he's more than capable of it.
Yes.
But he is one of these players who can let the pressure get to him.
Mixed number, of course, the positive on 2v2 King of the Hill, but 1v1 ever since he recorded that 0-2 set score record. KK kind of took his spot over and didn't really show up too much, only in the King of the Hill after those first few weeks.
Well, I mean, if Joel was sitting next to me today, I would be saying Shun has beaten TNT in a 1v1 for King of the Hill. So that means he can take on anybody.
No, the King of the Hill games, it's just one game, and it comes down to the deck choice of course, the control and the skills come down, but the deck choice is very important. We've just seen what Danny was able to do, and Shun has to step up twice in a row.
Can he do it? He's more than capable. We're about to find out. Will Danny be able to finish this off, or will Shun be able to take us to Game 5 of this King of the Hill between GameWith and Fav Gaming?
Let's get our hype pants on, Simon. We've got this game going.
Well, I definitely didn't need them yesterday. My hype pants are on today. Okay, Hog Rider from Shun comes in. The Prince is there to help defend.
He has a Prince, which is very, very good too. Barrel.
Well, the Royal...
No log.
Yeah, no log, so that is... Well, maybe he does have a bar barrel or a log here, just not in cycle yet. It's still early days. The Giant in front, the Royal Ghost is trying to help out. The Inferno Tower, though, is going to take... Ooh, beautiful zap there, resetting. And that means...
Skeleton Army will come right after, and the log. But he baited that log for the next Goblin Barrel of his own, so that's actually a good cycle.
Look how much damage they're getting done. The Mega Minion and the Royal Ghost takes that tower down to 1,446.
Okay, for Danny, he really has to save his zap and the log, because he has to worry about the Princess, Skeleton Army, plus the Goblin Barrel.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have to answer the Skarmy much with a spell. He could always use the Royal Ghost, who still dies, but at least he does the area damage. Nothing else he has in terms of cards right now has area damage, and we see the Night Witch. Okay, Hog Rider from Shun, that's go time. Prince is there to try and defend. That does mean the Hog Rider gets one hit. And the Prince is going to charge into them. Oh, he's going to get to the tower. Good timing on that Skeleton Army. But look where all the skeletons went. All the skeletons went to the left, not to the right. And that's bad news, Bears. The Night Witch is going to get to the tower.
He has the guards, so not just in time, but I believe that was one punch onto the tower, right?
Yeah.
From the Giant.
1179 remain on that right-hand tower. Damage is just getting a little bit too critical for Shun. In comes the barrel, in comes the log from Danny. That's the answer you need. You see the bar barrel get answered by the Royal Ghost, who is going to go down to the tower, and the Prince again is there to take out the Hog Rider.
Shun splitting the attack, because when everything's lined up with that Giant, it's going to be massive push happening. He wants to split up, make sure he gains some value with the Inferno Tower.
Fireball there, but it reloads. Danny reloads instantly with a Night Witch, and there's so much alive.
Skeleton Army buying a lot of time, and that's just enough for near perfect defense, just taking the log damage to the tower now. There's the Barbarian Barrel, the Goblin Barrel all the way in the back.
Yeah, no log this time. The log came very, very late, but that is actually going to affect both the barrel and the hog this time. And then we see the Prince charging into the guards. So that means no guards on the right-hand side to help defend against this Royal Ghost and Giant. The Royal Ghost is taking out the Skeleton Army, but just not quick enough as the Inferno Tower takes out the Giant, and we see a Hog Rider reloaded.
Yeah, now Shun actually has a winning cycle right now. Danny needs to change it up a little bit, because he's losing with the spells. Of how Shun's actually baiting all those spells.
We see the Night Witch loaded up at the back, and the Princess gonna get answered by the Royal Ghost. He's then gonna take out the guard and then slowly creep towards the tower. Giant is played. There is the Inferno Tower. Fireball comes in, pushing everything back. The Bar Barrel will finish off the Night Witch, and the Bats and the Mega Minion will close that off. Zap there to answer, and one of the Bats, almost got to the tower there.
Usually we see Zap for the Inferno Tower only, and then the Skeleton Army, but
it's all getting to the tower. The barrel has to be used there. The log comes in. That's it.
Danny has a 3-man streak. That's going to be it. Fav Gaming, they defeat GameWith, and they're going to actually, with that win, confirm their second spot with 2 wins today.
Yeah, Danny finished that off and didn't make any reaction. I wasn't even sure if he won. He didn't move.
Yeah, he won.
All I saw was like Ken Sameshi jumping around in the back, and Danny's just like staring at his device like,
Goblin muscles.
I know, this has become like a huge thing in the Japanese. Every team is doing the goblin muscles when they win, but
we should do it too.
No,
If you do, you get
mine goes this way. Like I'm an old man. Remember, mine goes that way.
Okay. I was about to do something else, but I'm gonna stop there.
All right. I don't want to know what you were gonna do.
Well,
Okay.
Well, Goblin Muscle certainly seems like working for all the teams, and we're about to jump into the interview. Maybe we're gonna hear from Danny.
You're with Danny. Congratulations. Thank you. How do you feel? Yeah, I'm very glad that we were able to do 2 wins today. There's 2 winning streaks today. Yes, it is. Yes, it's my second time.
実際こう3立て、まず KK 選手を倒した時にはどんなデッキ持ち込もうとかいろいろ考えました。
What deck were you planning to bring up?
とは必須かなって、それでデッキを作りました。
まあチームメンバーも少しね、
his usual
後ろでも話してましたけれども、もうダニ選手のおかげでここまでいけたみたいな話もありました。実際こうチームメンバーの
your team was able to come this way because of you.
2V とか毎回2人頑張ってるんで。
はい。
Well, 2v2 as well. My teammates play really hard, so I want to thank my teammates.
なるほど。ケンツメッシ選手。
ケンツメッシ選手も
And Ken Spencer?
苦しい状況でしたけど、本当流れをこっちに引き戻してく
And
れ
Ken
たんで、
Spencer always
いい活
brings
躍
up
でした。
the team
そうです
when
ね。あ
to
と
our
マッ
side,
チ
so
2ではね、
I'm
こ
thankful
う
to
オ
him
ズ
for
選
that.
手の活躍もありましたもんね。
And
もう
also
だいぶ
played
こう
really
チー
well
ム
today
一丸と
too.
なって、かなりこう上り調子でいっているファブゲーミングですけれども、も
for the winning
う
streaks
いよい
now.
よ次が最終戦になってまいりますので、あちらの
next
カ
one
メ
will
ラに
be
向
your
かって
final game.
意気込みをお願いします。
Any last words you want to say?
まだポノスさんに勝ったことがないんで、
We haven't
チームとし
won
て
against PONOS,
勝ちで終わりたいなと思い
so I
ま
want
す。
to make sure
あ
we
りが
make
と
the
うご
win.
ざいます。以上、ファブゲーミングダニ選手でした。この後はエンディングと。
Well,
That's
that
actually crazy because Five Gaming with that 2 wins because of head-to-head and how the rules said what I believe they have secured in the second place. We'll have an update very soon, but we're not good with math, so we
Yeah.
have to double check.
well, it's not secured. I think they have it for today
Very,
in terms
very
of
good
head
chance.
to head, because Fav Gaming are now 2 up over GameWith.
Mm-hmm.
But the big problem that Fav Gaming have is who they have to go up against next week.
PONOS.
Yes.
Yes, that's a big mountain to climb. Actually, a big, quite a spiky obstacle if they have to go through.
GameWith have to go against DetonatioN Gaming. So that is a much like right now. It seems like PONOS Sports are invincible.
As GameWith just dropped 2 matches today, that's gonna hurt them a lot. But here's the result: Five Gaming winning the first one and the second one. Match number 2, PONOS takes it, and GameWith gonna drop 2 in a row, and they go all the way to the King of the Hill. But their final strength seems to be fading off.
Yeah, they just couldn't manage to finish it off. They got defeated by Mikamboya in their first King of the Hill, and then Danny just closed it off against Fav Gaming. And I mean, Fav Gaming had Oz, the player we don't see very much, all kill completely. Fav Gaming are actually 8-5.
Yes.
Wow.
So, Five Gaming having one more, GameWith having one more, but because of head-to-head, I think Five Gaming will actually have it even if they lose against PONOS Sports. But look at that, 10-2. They played 12 matches and dropped only 2 matches. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, Fav Gaming guaranteed second place. They
'Cause
can't
it's
drop.
Match score, head-to-head, and then we go to set score.
Yeah. So, PONOS Sports have won the Japanese region. Fav Gaming have qualified in second.
Yeah, we'll have the next set of matches for next week. We're gonna have Southeast Asia first, Korea, and then Japan once again. The same pattern, but we have the last week before we go to that wild card and the postseason.
Yeah, well, pretty much anything can happen in Friday's sets. As we go to SEA, Brent Esports versus AHQ, Chaos Theory versus AHQ, and then Chaos Theory versus Kicks. Pretty much any one of the top 3 teams in SEA can qualify next week, and it will come down to the wire. We have Brent Esports 9-4, Chaos Theory 8-4, AHQ 7-5.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. Even AHQ, if they have 2 wins in a row and something bad happens to Brent, then they also have a chance. It's actually a crazy, dramatic story for Southeast Asia, especially for Korea. Not as much, but still, great matches to watch coming up very soon.
Yeah, Kingzone, Sandbox, OGN Sandbox, OGN, OP Gaming, Clash Royale, and what a story OGN has. They can still qualify for the wildcards
not
in
for the
second place.
Not for the first place.
We actually have a sheet here that just says 0% chance to
chance.
finish first, but they can still qualify. A team that a few weeks ago looked like they couldn't win anything. They couldn't win a raffle with one person in it. And now they're just winning games left,
right,
and
center.
They
got a superstar, the rookie. He's just dominating everything. That's TNT. That story may continue into the final day. Who knows what is going to happen, because it starts with 2v2, comes down to the 1v1. But what an incredible week we had. Week number 9, where things are starting to settle, but we still have one more week. Let's see which teams are up on the top, because we've got the regionals. Just one more week of play.
Yeah, and then we get down to the wild cards, the playoffs, the finals. Who's going to take it? It is anyone's guess right now, because honestly, every team is amazing.
Well, that's it for the final day of week number 9. We will be back with week 10 action here at Clash Royale League Asia. Thank you for watching. Thank you again.